Well, here's to a new age and shitty podcast.
Here, fuckers.
Cheers.
All right. Welcome to the first ever Unsuppressed podcast, where we speak loudly, speak our minds about loud shit like fast cars and big guns and monster fish and MMA and self-defense and
Getting our ass kicked.
war games and tactics and
Whiskey.
crazy shit and whiskey. And we are sipping on, what are we sipping on, KJ?
We got Balvenie today. I thought I'd break something special out. It's a
How old is she?
12-year-old. That sounds worse when it comes out of my mouth. We're drinking a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
That's
That's a tasty 12-year-old.
We can't put that. Yeah, we
And cut.
can. Because this is Unsuppressed, we speak our minds and
We can
and
say
we're
whatever
free
the
to
fuck
do it.
we want.
That is
not
true.
in Hollywood.
Balls.
So 3 of us are drinking the Balvenie, which is great. It's a Scotland
Scotch.
single malt, which is great. And one of us drinks Jameson. And how old is that?
How old's yours?
Mine's a 12-year-old.
Tasty 12-year-old. Thanks
It
for the
is-
recommendation,
All right.
Kevin.
Well,
Stacey.
this says right here since 1780. So, I mean,
Since.
what?
What?
257 years.
And you paid
old right
how
here.
much for that
I'm
bottle?
gonna do the math. Carry the 2. I don't know.
$20.
That was $20 well invested right there.
That's a good night's work right
Exactly.
there.
Go buy another one just a little bit.
Beautiful branding for back in the day.
Yeah. I mean, the calligraphy is
Hey,
off
but
the charts.
you want to know some minutia about Jameson?
Yes.
Right up here, underneath the label, it says "Sin Metu,"
Which is?
which means without fear.
Nice.
What?
Is that your new mantra?
It's actually the mantra for a Naval Special Warfare unit. That's their team motto, "Sin Metu."
Can you tell us?
No.
Come on. Well, you know what? I think that leads us into a great segue, and let's introduce our merry band of ne'er-do-wells. So, Greg, we'll let you start the show.
All right. Well, thank you. Well, my name is Greg Lappin.
Eat a dick.
Yep, exactly. Right now, I wear a whole lot of hats. I don't know. I have 15 jobs. Was that joke? Jamaicans have tons of jobs.
I've never heard that joke.
It's seriously.
That's pretty dark.
It's really dark. Is that what you said?
Anyway, I wear a lot of hats right now. I am the owner of Vada Training Center. We do kind of boutique tactical firearms, CQB, small unit tactics training for civilians, law enforcement, and small special operations units. I started my career as a law enforcement officer and left law enforcement to go work for the State Department and left there to go work for clandestine services overseas. And did that for several years, was actually living overseas for about 4 years of it, and just moved back to the States a year ago.
What possesses you to go do that? I mean, because that's a whole different ball game.
You ever watch Action Figure Therapy?
No.
Oh my god.
Is it good?
Action Figure Therapy.
Have you guys done it? Have you guys seen it?
I've seen
No, I
Yeah.
haven't.
Come on, man. You ever shoot a machine gun on peyote?
Oh, now I know who you're talking about.
Exactly.
Okay.
He said, "You want to go to the jungle and kill people?" He said, "Hell yeah, man. Who don't?" All right. Yeah. So then I met these knuckleheads because I'm in the gun industry and they're in the gun industry in one shape or another, and they're all deviants. So here.
We are all deviants,
That's right.
So I'll go next.
as you should. This is
Jace.
our board operator.
Board operator, laptop technician.
IT guy.
Not really laptop technician because it's Windows. But my background is in music and television and advertising, and
You're Jace, right?
I am Jace.
Jace guy.
Fast cars.
Fast cars, the little amateur racing in some high performance environments.
Is that such a thing?
Amateur racing?
Amateur racing and...
Yeah, because you just spend money, you don't win.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there's a difference.
Yeah. I'm in the gun industry with the Unity Tactical. Been doing that 4 years. Greg and I kind of have the same clientele, if you will, but we do parts and pieces for guys that
Use the parts.
that
Yeah,
use
they
parts
and I use their
for
parts
job.
and pieces,
So, yeah.
Their pieces are meant to be practical.
and their parts too.
Yeah.
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 I'm Jake. I am
from State Farm.
Thank you.
What are you wearing, Jake, from State Farm?
I'm not wearing khakis, but I'm also in the gun industry. Make little gopher targets that people use. Gopher targets. The one with, it's like a steak and a gopher.
How about prairie dog targets? You make those too?
Well, they call them prairie dog targets, but I call them gopher targets.
Gopher.
I make them.
What's the name of this company?
Well, we haven't started selling the product yet.
Now the truth comes out.
But I'm a musician, amateur hunter, a lot of stuff. But met these guys down here in New Orleans, and that's about it.
That's it. And I guess I'm last. The best goes for last. The best looking goes for last. KJ. I migrated here from Oklahoma, grew up in the great state of Oklahoma, and to be honest with you, man, I don't know how I ended up here. I mean, I guess it was a lot of hard work. I wanted to be in the outdoor industry in some form or fashion. Found myself actually in the industry after a stint as an academic counselor at the University of Oklahoma. Can you believe that? Shit. I was mentoring and guiding the youth of America.
Oh, Jesus.
In Oklahoma, though. So
yeah, so we were dealing with our cousins. So, but no, ended up here in.
I resemble.
I'm glad I couldn't hear that. Look, you're on the other side of the table.
Now the shirt makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't give a mouse horse. I just don't get that.
I don't understand that. What's this
I don't
gibberish?
give a rat donkey.
Anyway,
I don't give a Nutra.
I don't give a
That is a Nutra rat, right?
Yeah.
Looks like a Nutra rat and a little tiny horse.
that's like a S&M t-shirt.
Yeah.
All right, carry on.
Anyway, so I ended up down here in New Orleans as a basically almost like a gun rider. That's what I do now, and I do some other stuff, but I do some fishing and riding still.
Bass fisherman.
But yeah, I'm a bass fisherman, but I can catch all fish. If you're a bass fisherman, you catch fish anywhere. That's how it goes. So, but anyway, no, that's how I end up here. I ended up, meeting these guys through obviously work. I work with Jason, Jake, and I met Greg. God, dude, I think the first time I met you, we were out shooting some piece on the range. I forget what it was, but God, he was a punk. He was.
I don't remember that, and they say first impressions are everything. So
he was a punk, but he likes whiskey, so we're okay with that. So this little next part, just give you guys a little bit more insight on who we are. Just to kind of intro this show. You're not going to get this every week. This is kind of a golden show.
So listen up.
So we're going to go with the old like what you do at church camp when you sit there and you have to meet people. You always tell 2 truths and 1 lie. So 2 truths, 1 lie. Okay.
We should do that every week.
Yeah, every week. Oh my
week.
gosh, dude, there's no way. This actually happened to me this week. 2 truths and 1 lie. Right. No, but this is over. It could be whatever. So I guess I'll go first since I'm still talking. But okay, 2 truths and 1 lie. Let's go with. So I a long time ago, used to professionally train Tennessee walkers. I got my degree, actually, a master in kinesiology. And then I have, my gosh, this is tough. Like, because you think, you sit back and you think.
Wait, were those 2 things, or was that all one thing?
Those were 2.
Oh, okay.
And then kinesiology.
Spell kinesiology.
Yeah. Oh, we know. But no, and then.
He gets a pass. He's from Oklahoma.
I actually played tennis in college on a scholarship.
Okay.
So.
What do we think, guys?
What kind of racket did you use?
Huh? Well.
What's your favorite?
Anytime they answer a question with
Head.
Who, me?
Head is the brand.
Yep.
Spelled H-E-A-D.
That's what you gave.
Well,
too.
I would filter between like 2 heads and
2 heads is
2
brand.
princes.
The brand. 2 heads.
Brands. Head.
Hey, he was in college. Come on, give him a break.
Yeah. It was experimenting.
What is a Tennessee Walker?
Yes.
Well, think size of a quarter horse. Has a natural gait that's really smooth. But we would take them from.
Why you keep looking up?
Because I'm trying to think of all the steps of training these stupid
Are these
horses.
people? Oh, they're horses.
Yeah, stupid horses.
Where did you do that?
Elk City, Oklahoma.
Elk City.
Yeah.
For how long?
4 years.
4 years. Why'd you leave? Why'd you stop?
I went to college. I had to get an.
So you were in high school?
I had to
You
get an.
trained them?
I had to
I
get
think
an
I'm smelling
education.
something.
I'm gonna go with the training horses. Training the.
That's bullshit.
Is that
It
bullshit?
is a random name though that he picked instead of horses. I trained horses.
I mean, why would he train Tennessee horses in Oklahoma?
And why wouldn't he just say, I trained horses?
All right.
What kind of horses? Oh, Tennessee Walkers.
All right.
What the fuck's a Tennessee Walker?
Should we go for that?
All right. So what are you guys going with?
I'm voting for that.
Yeah.
Yep, horses.
Well, surprisingly to know that I did train Tennessee Walkers, and my master's is actually in public administration, a bullshit degree that I got twice.
Button hooked us. I didn't know you were going to.
If I knew
Yeah.
what kinesiologist
That's
was,
all you had to do is go, what's kinesiology? And I would have
Yeah.
gone,
the horse talk was funnier.
I could
We
believe
probably would have just
kinesiology
ended it right then.
Well, because I know you're a runner already. I
Yeah.
already know you do that.
well, and that's
like a
why I
mad
kind of
person.
paired it to like, it's kind of what I might be into, but
Okay.
see, there we go. All right, now we're going to kick it over to Greg
Oh, it's my turn.
since he was very vocal.
My turn. All right. I was a front man in a punk rock band, and we had an original song that during the original song we would throw out pants we got from Goodwill to
Dude.
the audience.
Wait, how old were you when you were doing this?
Hold on,
crap?
wait, let me finish.
Oh, there's more to this.
Oh, that was the first one.
I've got questions.
I did some modeling for J. Crew.
All right.
I could almost believe that. The gay vibes, you know.
That I felt that all the way over here. Like, and the way he looked at me, uncomfortable.
All right.
All right.
And then I slept on the couch in a dive shop in Thailand for 4 months.
Damn.
But now, see, I could believe all those.
Shit.
All right. What? So, like corduroy pants or jeans or whatever you could like.
Oh, dude,
get.
we would go to the Goodwill and get the craziest pants, the like old school, everything we
Now-
could find that was crazy, and just
How
buy
old
them.
were you?
Oh, 16, like from between 15 and 17.
Okay, who was fronting the money for these pants?
We were as a band.
As a band, you were making
It was
enough.
Goodwill. It was like
Oh, wait.
50 cents a pair of pants.
No way.
Yeah, go down to Goodwill. Get the
How
shittiest
How
pants
often
you
did you
get.
guys play?
Not every week, but every couple of weeks we'd have real gigs out.
So about 10 pairs of pants every 2 weeks.
Yes.
So about $3.50.
Yeah.
I think I could scrounge up that
So
money.
okay, what was the home host name of your Taiwanese landlords?
Taiwanese.
Did you say Thailand?
Singapore.
Yeah, that's Thailand, not Taiwan.
Whatever. Close. It's all the same. I'm from Oklahoma.
It's not the same.
It's all
What
China.
was your host's name?
The shop was called Phuket Divers.
Phuket
It
Divers.
was on the island of Phuket.
Okay.
Phuket.
It looks like fuck it.
Yes,
Yeah.
it does.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Do you have any roommates?
No. I was out there for 4 months. I worked as a dive master, but I couldn't afford a place to live, so they let me stay there.
But you could afford $3.50
Well, that was
worth of
different time.
that was
pants.
a different time.
What was number two? The pants. The
I
Crew model.
did some modeling
For J. Crew. All right.
Crew.
So what kind of pants were you modeling? I see a running theme of pants like here. Like
I'm gonna go ahead and say the J. Crew. That's my.
That's what I'm
Look at
leaning
him.
towards.
Look at him.
I mean,
right? Wait, how old were you when you did this?
when I did that, I was, I guess, 18, 19.
So they picked you up right out of the
like
punk
pre-
rock
it was
band.
like
So
pre-college.
basically, you were
It was
in
like
the club jamming, and someone from J. Crew came in to
Right
saw
now.
one of your
Oh.
gigs, and we're like,
Yep.
we got to have
Hit
this
in the
dude.
face with pants.
Yeah, they had an awakening.
And they looked down, and they were J. Crew.
I'm going with the J. Crew story.
Man, I don't think so.
Majority rules.
No, I've heard him sing.
Oh, you pick one.
I'm going to say
He could pass in a punk band.
I don't think he could pass in a punk band.
Oh,
What are you saying? I got a shitty voice?
that's bad.
Not. I'm just as I heard you play.
You might be
It ain't
right on the
good.
punk band, KJ.
I don't think it's a band.
So J. Crew.
J. Crew.
J. Crew.
You ain't a band.
Punk
Both
band.
of those are true. The only I was living on a couch in Phuket.
Damn.
Well,
Yeah.
fuck it.
You guys suck.
I should have asked more questions about Phuket.
Yeah.
Yeah,
fuck.
like real questions.
Yeah. Can
Is
you
it a
point it
boy?
out on
Is
a
it
map?
girl? I don't know. Fuck.
You just berated me and made fun of me the whole time instead.
Wow.
That is true. Okay. All right. Who's next?
Am I next?
All right. You're next.
All right. So when I was 13 and wanted to be a pro skateboarder, I broke my arm
On purpose?
on a launch ramp.
What kind of launch ramp?
Slammed down like a 3-foot, launch ramp with no
Okay.
exit.
That'll happen.
Carry on.
Believe that.
Let's see. Later on, I actually got to mix the Beastie Boys for a live show they did. And I was in a screamo metal band.
Who's your favorite skateboarder?
Back then it was Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk.
Of
Yeah,
course.
because there was a game. There was a game out. That was you played Tony Hawk a lot, didn't you?
Later, yeah.
That game.
Back then
that
it was-
game was legit.
On Nintendo, it was Skate or Die. And then Skate or Die.
And then-
Who was your next
Yeah.
favorite skater?
Steve Caballero or probably Christian Hosoi.
Oh.
I was waiting for Christian Hosoi to get thrown out there. What kind of deck did you have? What was your favorite deck?
I wanted a Hosoi deck or a Mike McGill deck.
Ooh, Mike.
But I had some like
All right,
no-name
so we're gonna
guy,
say that
Sims
that's
guy.
a
What kind of-
like
what kind
I
of
think he
shoes did you
skated.
wear?
I think he skated.
what kind of Vans?
I had a pair of Airwalks and they hurt my ankles, so I had
Airwalks,
to
man.
return them.
The old Airwalks.
Okay, so that I think I'm pretty safe on that.
Where was the show for the Beastie Boys that you mixed?
City Park, New Orleans, Voodoo Fest,
What year?
Fast.
04.
It was the
So
only
that would
band.
put you at what?
Who opened for him?
How old were you?
I would have been like 25.
Who contacted you?
I was working for a studio.
Where's the light? Who
It's like investigation now.
Who called you?
What were you wearing?
What shoes did you wear? Did you throw pants?
Oh, that's a tough one.
And then your last
I
one
can
was you're in a
believe-
scream band, basically.
Screamo metal band.
Yeah.
I almost could believe
Covers? Doing
that.
covers?
We did some covers. We did
Who'd you cover?
Screamo.
we did a
cover.
Rush song. We did
Screamo.
we
Screamo
did a
Rush?
Screamo style.
Oh,
Tune down to C, drop C. We did Tom Sawyer. we did some Seven Dust. But we did a lot of originals, like 12, 13 original.
man, these are tough. That one's.
Which
See,
arm did you break?
This one.
Where at?
Scar. Was it a compound fracture?
No.
Is the other one?
This one's a bad one. This one's what I broke.
Oh man.
I'm gonna man.
I'm gonna go with Screamo band, I guess.
Man, he's a good.
I'm
He's
going with Screamo band too. He's a good guitarist. But I don't think it was a Screamo band.
Screw you guys. I'm going with whoever he
Beastie Boys.
Beastie Boys.
right.
I don't think he did that.
Spill the beans.
What was it?
Skateboarding. Never broke my arm.
Holy crap, we suck.
We are not.
I feel like I completely don't feel like I know you guys. So we're gonna do this every week
I think we should.
till we get to know each other's deepest, darkest secrets.
All right, so when I was young, 12, 13 years old, I was a competitive amateur rock climber.
Bullshit.
Had competitions, won shit.
Bullshit.
Climbing walls.
I won shit. Hey, how do I know you're legit? I won shit.
I won shit, okay? I know
Where's your
some, I know
trophy
some
stuff?
terms too, so just test me. Out in Los Angeles, I was on The Voice, the TV show. I was in the top 100 of 100,000, and didn't end the way we wanted it to, but we were in there for a month. We had all the lawyer meetings and everything, and and they filled the last spot before we could go audition.
And here he is.
Yeah. And also, while I was out in LA working for a production company, my producer made a documentary called Mr. Warmth about Don Rickles, and I got to hang out with him all the time and go to his house.
When was that?
2000. Shit, I was 21.
Where did you live when you did competitive rock climbing?
2015.
Blue Springs, Missouri. Grand Valley, Missouri. Same area.
All right. Sick him.
All indoors?
Mm-hmm.
What's your hardest
we don't
route?
have any mountains.
What was your hardest route?
It was about like 5 or 6 feet up, and then it shot.
What was the grade? What was the grade? What's the hardest grade you ever climbed?
Oh, I don't remember the grades.
I know what I'm calling bullshit on.
What does on-site mean?
On site?
Yeah.
I
What does red point mean?
I was young.
You know what? On belay. Belay on. I'm telling you, I was like 11, 12 when I was doing it.
They just shouted at me, so I just kept climbing.
I won a little chalk bag.
What kind of harness did you use?
Rock climbing.
One
kind of shoes- what
that
kind of
wrapped
shoes?
around my nuts.
I don't even
shoes
think
did you
I used any like professional shoes.
I
mean, it was amateur.
So basically, you're Mowgli.
I made sure to include amateur.
It was a rope through his belt loops.
What was the name of your first title you won?
First title?
Yeah,
They
like
were just
what
like
was
tournaments.
what was the first tournament you won?
I don't remember the name. I got a big drape thing that said Piranha, Pyrna. It was like a brand, I guess. I got a little chalk bag brand.
It is PIR, but yeah.
So there might be a little
Got a little
connection
chalk
there.
bag,
All right.
a little drape, some stickers.
When did Don Rickles die?
Ooh, I don't know. Is that
Didn't
relevant?
he die?
I got a cell phone number.
I got it. Hey, I'm not saying it was serious, but I got his digits.
Hey, I do too. Hold on, Don Rickles. Check it out, mofo.
He died last year.
Oh, it's out of service now.
Oh, now I feel like an asshole.
He died in like June.
Too soon?
No, not too soon.
But it was called Mr. Warmth. It was pretty good.
All right, Google Mr. Warmth, somebody.
What age did you stop rock climbing at?
Like 12. 12 or 13 when I started skateboarding. When I broke my arm.
Was it the left one?
That was right before I mixed for the Beastie Boys and played in my cover band, throwing out pants.
I did it pretty young. It was like 10 to 13 or something.
Wait, you did just like
Did you
change?
do more than one competition? How many
Yeah,
competitions?
Like
did you,
3 or 4.
like how often would you compete?
Once a month, probably.
Once a month.
So
at
you
the
did
same
this-
gym, or did you travel to
Same
different
gym.
gyms?
What made you quit after 4 months?
To have a membership there, it's expensive because indoor rock
So you
gyms are
basically
expensive
came in
for the
kicked some ass and
competitions,
took some
yeah,
names
and show up for practice every now and then.
Yeah.
You guys would have like.
Well, you'd
organized
pay
practice?
to go use like if you didn't have a membership,
Right.
like single use to
Gotcha.
go climb
Yeah.
for a couple hours.
Yeah.
Man,
I'll say this:
I-
he didn't know shit about rock climbing, but it's a possibility if he just
It
climbed
is.
indoors and he was that young, he may not know shit.
he may not remember like everything that was detailed about it, like the questions that you were asking. And he knew he had he surprised me when he pulled out the
name
piranha.
Piranha.
Then yes, he surprised me. That
and
like kind of threw me.
It's actually prana.
Whatever.
Yeah.
P-R-A-N-A.
But Mr. Climber, but he like that's pretty good. I mean to pull that unless he Googled it right before he came here.
I know. Well, he
think
could
he
have gone
might
rock
have.
climbing once or twice.
Right.
I competed in rock climbing at that age, but I can tell you exactly what the hardest route is I ever climbed. I can tell you the hardest route I ever red pointed, like all that stuff.
What's red pointed?
Red pointed is when you do a route the very first time up, but you have information about the route.
Okay.
On site is like you walk up to a route, you don't know anything about it, and
then you
climb
go
on
on
the
it.
first go.
Okay.
Is that an indoor or an outdoor term?
Both.
Oh, okay.
Typically both.
Yeah.
Indoor you could just see
Indoor
it.
you can see. On site doesn't really apply to indoor climbing, but red point would.
Because I was just in indoor.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So
What was the name of the gym you climbed at?
Ibex.
Ibex.
IBEX. In Blue Springs, Missouri.
Man, would
still
Blue
there.
Springs, Missouri actually have a climbing facility? Is it big enough?
That's why it's so expensive.
Oh my God. Is it big enough? Is Blue Springs, Missouri big enough?
Oh,
How
yeah.
big is it? Like 10,000 people?
No,
15?
like 80,000.
Oh, really?
people, yeah. My town right next door is like 15 or something.
I'm gonna go with the rock climbing one.
So am I.
I'm gonna
Because he said, so it's one lie and two truths, right? That's why.
I'm gonna go completely opposite of you guys because I'm gonna go with the Don Rickles.
Don Rickles is a lie.
Yes.
I was almost there.
We did make the documentary for him, but I never met him, never got to hang out.
You never got to hang out with him. So wait, so you kind of half
No
lied.
phone
That was
number?
a half lie.
No phone number.
I said that I met him, got to hang out with him, and
Yeah.
his number and all that. So yeah.
But you still made the documentary and did all that.
Yeah,
So
I
what
was
was
a part of
that?
it.
What was that like? I mean, was that
interesting? I was an editor, so I didn't
Yeah.
be on set with
Right.
anybody. So just
Just got to hear Don
and I
Rickles.
was an assistant
2 years.
editor, so I wasn't doing like the main final
final cut?
production. Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, there you go.
I find it interesting that like it's like seriously like each one of us like picked a lie and none of us like picking out the lie spent a lot of time talking about the actual lie the guy was telling.
Yeah.
Like we didn't spend a lot of time on the Don Rickles, or the
Fuck it.
Thailand or
Beastie Boys, yeah.
Beastie Boys.
Or your Kinesiology.
Kinesiology. Yeah, because you like seriously, if you would have said like, "How do you spell it?" Like I would have been screwed, or just what it is, because I would have been like,
what it is.
Yeah, like
Oh, man, you
like
lucked
I
out.
would have been totally lost on that. Like so, but
I just believed it because I know you're a runner and figured.
I don't know shit about kinesiology. You could have told me anything.
Has something to do with
Well, and that's what they like. So that's the problem is that we all know a bunch about like the outdoors and whether it's camping or shooting or fishing or any of that, like that stuff. And so you kind of had to pick something that really wasn't in that realm because it's like
Right,
it's
you
like
get
the rock
called.
climbing because Greg will call you out on it. Or
Yeah, I don't know shit about that.
if I pick something with music,
Thanks, sir.
if I picked something with music, yeah, I would have been screwed. Like I played trombone in the high school band. I mean, that's about it.
Damn.
Oh, but one lie that I did not get to that I really, or one truth that I was actually going to throw in there was almost right up yours, and I'm glad I didn't, was that I was I would model for Vogue.
What?
Yeah, well, Vogue Infants. but me and my brother were on the cover of Vogue Infants, and it's not as dirty as it sounds.
I was a model as well.
Interesting.
Oh, where?
JC Penney ads
Are you serious?
from like 6 to 10 or something.
Holy crap, you made a
actor.
career out of it.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Child star.
Yeah.
No wonder you're so
Didn't see
fucked
a
up.
fucking penny of it.
Both of you are so fucked up.
I did a Playgirl magazine once.
Oh, please tell me that's true.
I'm pretending to not know
I did
about
under
it.
a false name. I did under Mike Honcho. I was in there with my butthole all spread apart.
Nice.
Oh, my God.
Full spread.
So get everything. So we kind of got introductions out of the way. We're gonna move on to like a big announcement that one of us at this table has. Greg actually has a massive announcement that just came out yesterday.
Yeah, just released it yesterday. Dropped it on social media, Facebook, Instagram, websites coming up. I am opening a Brazilian Jiu Jitsu gym and self-defense training academy, basically. So we're going to focus primarily on traditional Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, the way Brazilian Jiu Jitsu was originally meant for, which is self-defense. We're going to focus on that, not so much competitive Jiu Jitsu, although we will be doing competition clinics. We're also going to offer boxing, kickboxing, some Filipino Eskrima, which is the knife and stick stuff. We will have a full scenario combatives room set up, like a room with foam furniture, matted walls, matted floor, foam rubber furniture to do simunition stuff.
Yep.
One of the things that I've done in training through some of my government training courses, what's called hooded box drills. So we have this like blackout sensory deprivation hood that drops down from the ceiling. And you stand in the room with the hood over your head so you can't hear or see anything. One guy may come in the room, 5 guys may come in the room, hood gets yanked off your head, whoosh, and you got to react on what's going on. And it may be a dude with his hand out going, "Hey man, how's it going?"
Then
Or
you just
maybe-
punch him right in the
Right,
face.
or the hood
Like,
comes up,
boom!
maybe a pistol right in your face, or
Yeah.
you may have to fight for a couple of guys, get to your gun, shoot, all that stuff. Contact
Just
shoot.
when I go in there my first time, I just want you to greet me with a whiskey.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, hey, here's the whiskey, bro.
Knock it out of his hand.
Oh, don't spill that.
That sounds badass.
But yeah, man. I mean,
That's exciting. It's exciting stuff. Exciting for this area. 'Cause,
yeah,
I mean,
it's cool. Super excited. Owning a jiu-jitsu gym in particular has been a dream of mine for many years. I'm still an infant in the sport, so I am bringing in some very high-level black belts to come teach, can kind of work as the professor over the school.
Now you say infant, but you've been doing this a long time, based on some of your stuff. But you've learned from some of the masters
some of the best in the world
of the sport.
Yeah, I was real fortunate. So I was what you would call a 10-year white belt. I started training jiu-jitsu in about 2004, but due to my work schedule, my deployment schedule, deploying so much, I could never really stick into it, which is how you really get better and how you get promoted and all that stuff. But I got a really good foundation training for years and years, only with several months of not training in between. I did a 4-year assignment over in the United Arab Emirates where they import Brazilian black belts, like world-class Brazilian black belts, and became friends with one of them and trained privately with a multiple-time world champion Brazilian black belt for 2.5 years, 4 days a week, privately, and got some really good training. So when I left there as a blue belt with 2 degrees, and so that's still what I wear around my waist. But the mat doesn't lie.
No,
I'll just say that.
It does not lie.
I've been training without a home since I moved back to the States for
Yeah.
last year. I've been training without a home, training at a couple of different gyms around the area. I've got my garage, as you guys have become introduced to. I've got my garage rolled out with professional mats.
Yeah, we went over there last weekend.
Yeah.
We did. It was my first venture into the martial arts known as Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I've done the Krav deal.
Yep.
I've 3rd degree, whatever.
You're a lot stronger than you look, by the way.
Thanks. Appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate that. I saw you wink at me earlier. No, it's much different. I could block a little bit, but man, I learned very quickly to conserve your energy, because if you're sitting there pushing on a guy, especially like Greg, I mean, he's not moving. It doesn't matter. And I get up from the mat and I'm about ready to throw up, and he's just like, having casual conversations like he just woke up. I mean, it actually really sucks.
It's pretty humbling, dude.
It is. It's humbling when you're sitting there and you're like, man, I got this son of a bitch on lockdown. Like, he ain't going anywhere. Oh shit!
Yeah.
Stop! You sit there and I mean, you look at it, and it's a different art form. But I think it's. I like the way you guys are going to teach it as a defensive standpoint, because we live in a day and age when it's you've got to have skill set beyond just pulling a gun or pulling a knife. And,
9 out of 10 fights end up on the ground.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's what actually kind of scares me, because you can do Krav all day long. I mean, you've done Krav, Jiu-Jitsu's done Krav a lot, and if you don't have like a skill set when it gets beyond close or goes to the ground, you don't know what to do. You're not fighting on the ground in Krav. I mean, in a large part. I mean,
my experience with Krav is you want to be on the ground as little as possible.
Yeah, you're
get up as soon as you can.
You're attacking, breaking, and getting your ass out of there.
Right. And it's actually the same with jiu-jitsu. So full on like self-defense street jiu-jitsu is the same. I'm not going to arm bar you or omoplata you or triangle choke you.
Right.
But when you have a really good solid foundation of jiu-jitsu, same with wrestling, it allows you to control somebody's body and weight in such a superior fashion that you can actually tie up their arms, their weight, their balance, and their ability to strike you, and you can very easily strike them. So like a class I just ran, it was our force on force class, where basically the class was point blank in contact distances with simunition guns And I had a boxer who actually had fights in a ring. I had a Muay Thai boxer who actually had fights in a ring, multiple fights. I had, Joe the plumber who really had no previous training. And I had a long time out of the game due to injury, recently back into the jiu-jitsu game, black belt, who was the oldest guy in the class, least in shape, very humble, and going into day 2 after day 1 was over, at the end of day 1, the boxer said, "Hey, dude, tomorrow when you've got your high gear suit on stuff, get ready to catch some combos." I was like, cool. Muay Thai guy
he's basically setting it up like, I'm going to whip your ass.
Oh, yeah. Muay Thai guy, same thing. "Hey, dude, tomorrow when you got your suit on, when you got the high gear stuff on, get ready to catch some elbows and some knees." I'm like, roger that. Jiu-jitsu guy said nothing. Next day, finished the day. Muay Thai guy said, "Dude, I did not get to throw one elbow, one knee on you. As soon as we came to contact, you dumped me on my head and were able to strike me at will because I could use my body weight, my pressure, my control to control his shoulders and his arms and just open hand slap the shit out of him." Same thing with the boxer. Boxer separated, got through one punch. I slipped, shot in, boom, big double leg, slammed him, nothing.
And he's done.
The jiu-jitsu guy was like, "Man, here I am, the jiu-jitsu guy." He's like, "I spent the least amount of time on the floor."
Yeah.
I spent the least amount of time on the ground out of everyone else, and all I have is jiu-jitsu. But it's because he understands posture and balance. He understands getting back up quickly. He understands how to not get taken down. And dude, far and away, he was the most successful in every single scenario because he could stay on his feet, draw his pistol, pectoral index that pistol, and bang, get that pelvic girdle shot and drive on.
Yeah,
dude,
and
it's a super
when you explain it like that, that does sound a lot like Krav because a lot of the principles that Jace, and Greg, about Krav, it's deflect and attack and get away or get in a position where you can fire off a round. But
I have my issues with Krav.
No, I do too,
But,
and after. Like spending, and this was my first introduction to jiu-jitsu because you've been like hounding me daily about getting a gi, and that's exactly what I got every day. But like you train gi always.
I train gi,
and it's different because I talked to my brother who does jiu-jitsu, and they don't train gi. And now you're walking around and you're seeing everybody in these coats, and they look a lot like a gi. And the grips and everything else.
Anyone who says gi is not realistic doesn't really understand jiu-jitsu. Like you said. Even like you're wearing a sweatshirt, which would be really good for grips and stuff. T-shirts, T-shirts slip off over the head. T-shirts tear. There are some chokes you can use for T-shirts, but there's one thing that's common between all of us. Well, except for Jace, is we're all wearing pants right now. I'm just kidding. He's wearing pants too.
The back of the belt buckle right here.
But you have a waistband. You have a belt on.
Yeah.
Right.
You have inner knees. You have sleeves on the end of your pants. All those can be used to dominate your legs. Dominate your position. Yeah, when a guy starts wearing a dress shirt, that collar around the dress shirt.
Some more reinforced.
Flannel shirts, jackets, sweatshirts. They're all an imitation of a gi. A gi is made so thick and robust so it doesn't tear every training session. But if we're getting into a 4-minute fight, chances are that's not going to tear.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
4-minute fight. Like that just sucks anyway because like we went through 6-minute rounds at the end of
three and three.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Well,
you
went the full.
I went.
Did you?
6
with
Doug.
Oh, all right.
And then I went 3 with you. So don't give me this bullshit.
I went 3 because I had a concert in front of thousands of people the night before.
2. His mom was in attendance.
I was a little afraid he was going to die for a second.
Went to sleep at about 4, woke up at 10 for jiu-jitsu.
I was impressed because I did not tell Greg specifically that because you told me that, hey, man, I'll be out till 1 o'clock.
It was like, luckily it's just, me and KJ.
Yeah.
I show up and it's, they're all kneel down.
Yes,
sensei. And their gis. Like, fuck, eye drops.
Yeah. And then,
piece of gum.
And then he shows up and not a gi. I actually, went and got a gi and
I
everything.
told him I had a gi for him.
Yeah. he
Well,
told
and
me.
then he shows up and he's like, "Oh man, I get out of this because I'm in
No
civies.
excuses,
I'm in
though.
civies." And Greg goes, "Hey, I got a gi over there in the
I've been
house." And he, like,
putting shit off for so long, man. I gotta quit doing that. So
Hey,
I woke up,
hey, you showed up, man. That's half the battle.
fucking showed up.
I mean, that's half the battle is just getting there, and I think I had a lot of hesitation because I mean for the first time you go do something like that is by far the most intimidating shit you're ever
Dude,
gonna
the
go
worst,
through.
bro. Especially as a
show up-
grown man.
yeah.
You don't because you get that in your mentality that man.
Well,
like I don't want to embarrass myself.
What if I
die?
die?
Yeah.
I was telling
yeah.
Greg.
What if I have a heart attack?
You know, I was telling Greg about my back. It's all healed up now, but I told him, like, still, it's
Faith
hard
healing.
for me to go any harder than 60 or 70%.
But that's good. That's
Like-
how you learn, though, too. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
But if you're, like, unless you're a good friend of mine or I want to rip your fucking head off, I'm
Yeah.
going about 60% because it's just hard.
So
for me
wait,
to
so
get-
if I'm we're good friends, like you'd only go 65% on me?
if once we start, getting
Okay.
used to each other,
I want the
rolling
full load.
around.
I'll go 110.
You want the full load? You want KJ? You heard it. You heard it here,
You
folks.
heard it here,
KJ
folks.
wants the full load.
But no, it is intimidating the first time you get involved in something,
Yeah.
and I think, man, you got to put that aside, especially when it comes
Yeah.
in defense of yourself and your
100%.
family.
Especially worried
Man,
about how stupid
you know,
you look.
all
Yeah.
those sayings, check your ego at the door,
Yep.
leave your ego
Right.
outside. It's, so like you guys felt, and, I know you guys know this, but we were being nice to you. You know,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
First time, like we're
I only
being,
got choked out at least 3 times. Thanks.
but we weren't punishing you.
Right.
Like you guys saw what I was doing to
Yeah, the other dude
guy
that
who
didn't
came
show up
in.
one time.
right.
I will
like,
never do that.
That
to
was
you.
just punishment to earn the right back into the garage.
Yeah.
But like, so I'm a pretty fit dude, about 183 pounds. I deadlift a good bit, I squat a good bit. I'm pretty strong. I got some pretty savvy jiu-jitsu. There are a couple of buddies of mine that I roll with that throw me around like a little bitch.
Yeah.
Like I am helpless, like literally helpless. It's like me wrestling with my 6-year-old son. I'm not
Really?
exaggerating at all. Like I'm doing everything that I can to just survive, and I'm only surviving because they're letting me survive.
That's exactly what I
But
felt
that's
like.
what what
exactly.
jiu-jitsu is, man. Like there's always a progression. There's always a progression,
Right.
and I guarantee you, those guys that do that to me, that I know for a fact, some of them I'm bigger than.
Yeah.
Some of them I know for a fact I'm physically stronger than.
Mm-hmm.
But the same guys that do that to me, there are dudes that do that to them.
Right.
Which is
but
scary.
That's what's so awesome about jiu-jitsu, man.
Exactly.
And
That's why I love
you're-
that feeling.
Dude, you're
of
always
feeling
growing,
helpless.
always learning.
I hope
and-
I grow fast because I got on the mat and I just felt like I was like just grabbing hold of shit that I didn't know what I was grabbing.
I'll tell you, for the first year, you're going to feel like you're just barely drowning. Barely staying above water for a year. Mm-hmm. And then it's going to click and you're going to go, oh my God, that worked.
Because
That worked.
here's the deal. And I did, like I applied something that I learned, early on in the class.
You did it on me.
Yes, I did on you.
You did
And-
a nearly perfect guard
Nearly.
pass.
Nearly. And I know where I messed up though. And that's good though because you get to learn and you get
Of course.
your
Of course.
teaching program is great. But going into Krav, I never felt drowning like I did Saturday. I never felt like, oh my gosh, I'm
can't do shit.
basically I'm gonna get my ass handed to me for 3 years
Here's-
until I feel like
Right.
I can like breathe.
Here's the thing with Krav and all the striking stuff. And a good friend of mine, Darren DeSalvo, he owns Cyclone Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu here in Louisiana. The dude is a legitimate badass. He's one of these dudes, you'd see him walk in here, you wouldn't think anything of him. He's one of these dudes that tosses me around like an infant. And he put it to me this way. Striking arts, all striking arts are based in theory. All right? Because what do you strike as hard as you can?
Dude,
When you're training, what are you hitting as hard as you can?
Bag.
A pad.
A bag,
Yep.
right? Someone who's holding a pad. That is theory. You can hit that pad a lot harder than you can hit someone in the side of the head without worried about damaging your knuckles.
Yep.
Most of the time, you're wearing some sort of glove, whether it's an MMA glove or a sparring glove or whatever, right? When you actually spar, you're wearing gloves, you're wearing headgear, and you're only hitting each other at 70%, maybe 80% if you're going with a real hard cock, right? Jiu Jitsu is based in reality. We can roll and train at basically 100%. And as soon as someone gets a choke or a joint lock, you tap and you reset. So you are going against another person as hard as we can go at each other. As fucking hard as we can go. So there's no theory.
And
it's reality.
That's where they really get you too. And I know Jake, you felt it too, is when like Greg or Doug grabbed a hold of you and they wanted to finish and get a little bit of a break, you knew it. And and when you get like physically manhandled, it's alarming.
Oh yeah.
It kind of wakes you up and it kind of gets you thinking like, okay, that's what a real altercation and how it could go.
Because look, if we all rolled up to Krav class and said, all right, dude, you're going to punch me in the face as hard as you fucking can, I probably wouldn't go the next day.
No.
Right? All right, boys, we're all going to kick each other in the balls as hard as we can. Like, we're not going to show up.
Do they do that, Krav?
Fuck no, they don't do that. Everyone would be
Jake's
out of business.
Hey, can I sign up?
Krav would be out of business, you know?
I got 20.
Yeah. You'd have that one dude on the Vegas Strip that says, kick me in the balls for $20 in the class. He'd be the only one there.
Jesus.
You know?
Right behind Jake.
But that's the problem with like children's karate and children's taekwondo. You know? All these people, it's a fucking multi-million-dollar business.
Don't get me started on that because we're having a not a household debate right now. But my wife she's like you'll take Jet to my son to class. And I'm like, yeah, because he needs it, and I think it's a valuable lesson to learn. And I know you got kids that just beat the crap out of each other. But I think it's one of those valuable lessons that it teaches them how to like manage themselves in a day-to-day environment.
It teaches respect to it. It teaches there's consequences.
Yeah.
You know, like
Discipline.
What's your practice? Oh, you saw from Jiu Jitsu, but did you die?
I thought that was the Balvini speaking through there. Yeah. There's a discipline. Thank you.
No, but it teaches respect. It teaches that there's consequences. You know, like that's the problem with today's society. Is there's no consequences for people anymore, dude.
No.
You
might get banned from Facebook or
yeah, exactly, for like a month.
Yeah.
You know, like
let's review your file.
Yeah. Oh, you changed your profile name to something that's not really you, so fucking assholes. Anyway. Dude, but there's no consequences for anything anymore. Yeah. You know, here we go. I'm going on a rant.
Here we go.
You're going to see fucking Greg come out.
I wound it up.
You wound it up. So I'm driving my son to swim lessons the other night, right? And we're in a single lane turning left into a double lane. And the light turns green and the car just sits there. And I got my kid in the car. I'm being very patient. I don't even honk, dude.
You didn't hit the horn?
No, I didn't even honk.
Wait a few seconds.
Just wait
I waited a few seconds. Yep.
No.
And he started slowly creeping, like super slow. And we're turning onto a 45-mile-an-hour zone. Super slow. He turns on, can't figure out which fucking lane to get in, right? He's like, doesn't know where he's going. I can see there's a female in the passenger seat. I can't tell if there's any kids in the back. And he moves over to the right lane, and I fucking stomp on the gas. And, I got a big V8 in my truck, right?
And you gave him the finger, didn't you?
No, dude. I didn't do anything.
Your kid did, didn't he?
He wanted to. But I didn't do anything. That's the whole point. Like, I didn't honk. I didn't yell. I didn't even look at him. I just stepped on the gas and sped past him. Well, he hears my V8 rear up. He fucking sees me passing. He rolls down his window, honking his horn, laying on his horn, rolling down his window with his finger out, yelling, "Fuck you, asshole!" I'm like, fuck me. Wow. That motherfucker in that car has no fucking idea what I'm capable of.
I've seen shit.
Right. You think you're protected by a little bit of sheet metal and glass.
Right.
And I was in a mood, dude. I was in a mood that day. And he's fucking lucky my kid was in the car. Because, I wanted to fucking stop in front of him and
turn on,
fucking rip his ass out of that fucking driver's seat.
Yeah.
And just,
there are consequences when you mess with Greg
exactly,
Lappin.
but that's the problem. So where I was going is there's no consequences anymore. People don't understand violence. People don't understand consequences. But you put your kids into a real martial arts. Wrestling. I'll consider wrestling one. Wrestling is awesome.
Dude, wrestlers are bad dudes.
Badass discipline. And I guarantee you none of these little knockout games and all that bullshit you see going around are perpetrated by wrestlers.
No.
Or jiu-jitsu guys. Like, they're not criminals.
Right.
Because of the hard work and the discipline that's put into it, the discipline they're taught in it, and the humility they're taught in it when they think they're badass for a second and you get smashed down by someone you'd never know.
I'll tell you
Also-
right now, I never thought I was a badass. Just throwing that out there.
They can also
neither.
see what they can.
Good job.
Right.
They also see what they can achieve,
About you,
though.
yeah.
You know, as cheesy as it
100%.
sounds, it's
Absolutely.
like, you know, when you win a wrestling match, it's like it's
Oh,
pretty
dude, it's a
fulfilling.
goal.
So it's like, man, I can actually be good at
I've
something. You know,
won some
not be a
Indian
criminal.
leg wrestling contests before. Does that count?
Want to thumb wrestle?
Yeah.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, but no, you're right. I mean, literally, like, the day I was promoted, like, I remember specifically like, when I got my blue belt. When I was promoted to blue belt, dude, it was like one of the most proud, days of my life. You know?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm an infant, but that was proud. Like,
Right.
you know,
I still don't like after the guys that you've trained with and after, you know, the years you've spent in it, like, because what's the progression of belts?
white, blue, purple, brown, black, and there's
So-
4 degrees between each belt. There's
On each
4
belt.
degrees.
And I was going to ask about that.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I mean, I had belts in karate when I was a
Yeah.
kid, but what constitutes a degree? Like, how do you move up
So
degrees?
you know, some schools do some like commercial schools do like testing and all that junk for belts typically, but
Like written?
Hello.
no, like practical, like show me this move, this move,
Okay,
this
yeah,
move.
right.
But the real gyms, the good gyms, the way the Brazilians do it is you show the dedication, you show you're coming, you show the practical application, and you're getting promoted.
Right.
You show the dedication and the progression, you're going to get a degree.
Well,
You
and
know?
it's consistency. I mean,
No, it's consistent,
because
of
that's
course, like
why
anything.
you're where you're at. And you know, I've heard you kind of talk about, you know, you are an infant, but you know, you go to other gyms and you actually say that gyms are like a community. Like the BJJ is a community.
family.
It's a family.
Most places, it's like a family. So I travel with the gi, and you guys know I travel quite a bit. Everywhere I travel, I bring a gi. Even if I'm traveling with my client and I think I'll be tied up, I travel with my gi. And if I get a break, I do the research ahead of time. That's part of my advance packet when I'm traveling.
Yeah.
Is I find out where the nearest jiu-jitsu gym is. And if I get a break, I call the professor up, introduce myself, tell him I'm in town for a day or two, ask if I can come train. So yeah, I train, and no one's ever charged me. No one's been anything ever but like hugs, dude. You walk in with a gi and a belt, like even if you're a white belt, dude, it's like a family. It's like, oh man, come roll. People just want people to train. Jiu-jitsu is unbelievable, dude. It's a culture beyond a self-defense system, beyond a sport, beyond a martial art.
So a degree is basically like a rung in the ladder of moving up
Exactly.
to the next belt.
Right.
So there's 4
Exactly.
degrees.
And
4
there's
degrees per belt.
no
Except when you get to black belt, and there's more, and then
Right.
it goes on to a red belt, all that stuff. So.
So there's no like, hey, you've been in this 3 months, you deserve a degree. You know, it's basically.
There are some places like that. There
Oh,
are
they're
some
right.
commercial gyms that like,
Your 3-month
they know
anniversary.
they need to retain students and
Yeah.
like,
See, I don't like that. You're not going to do that at. Have you even given the name yet?
my gym,
Yeah, your gym.
Vita Jiu-Jitsu.
Explain
I
that
did.
because
I did.
I don't remember if you did. Or
All right,
not.
so
Maybe that's-
Vita Jiu-Jitsu. Vita is life in Portuguese. Well, it's also life in Spanish and Italian,
Right.
and probably a couple other languages that I don't know. But Brazilians speak Portuguese.
Dothraki.
And he's Dothraki. Yeah, exactly. But one of the things that the Brazilians always used to say when I was training with them is, like you'd show up to class, your ear would be all purple and black and blue and bleeding, or you'd have a big hematoma on your head, or you'd be sore or broken or something, and be limping in, and the Brazilians would just go, "Hey, bro, Vita Jiu-Jitsu, bro." Like, hey, that's the Jiu-Jitsu life, man.
Yeah.
Like, come on, that's the grind, bro. Like, deal with it. So, I like it, Vita Jiu-Jitsu, and for me personally, Jiu-Jitsu has helped me in my personal life. mentally, emotionally. Being back stateside, working in private industry now, not deploying overseas, not getting that kind of stimulus of adrenaline and fear and death and all that shit. Now I'm dad, now I'm husband, now I'm neighbor, now I'm not badass.
Podcaster.
Right, I'm podcaster. I'm sitting with you fuckers. So when I go to jiu-jitsu, I forget about all that.
Yeah.
And I can either smash, and I'm either smashing or I'm fucking getting smashed.
Yeah. And you're thinking of a way out.
Right, and it's always back and forth, man. Some days you're the hammer, some days you're the nail. The other day I went and trained at a gym, and I rolled with a brown belt, and for 6 minutes I fucking smashed him. And I ended up submitting him, which submitting is, it's like in racing. You can be on some dude's ass, but to actually pass is like a whole nother step. It's the same thing with jiu-jitsu.
Being patient enough to wait for him to fuck up.
Exactly. And jiu-jitsu is the same thing. You can be dominating a dude in a roll, but to actually submit him is a whole nother step. So I rolled with this brown belt, dominated him the whole 6 minute round, and then just before the end was able to submit him. My next roll was with a blue belt, and he fucking crushed me, dude. He crushed me.
Well, maybe you were tired.
Well,
maybe you
I can't make any excuses, man.
I've heard you before.
I can't make excuses, exactly. But everyone's got different styles. Now, this blue belt was a good bit bigger than me, and he was a college wrestler. Wrestlers are vicious, man. Wrestlers are vicious, and he just didn't. He's good on the ground. He's good, but it is what it is, bro. Sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail, man. It keeps you humble.
Well, the bad thing is about it, though, for a guy like me, and I'm cool with it being the nail. It happens a lot. But I have a feeling that it's going to be 2-3 years before I start to be a hammer.
No.
But you know what? I'm okay with that because I know that there's guys that might mess with you or you might encounter a situation that, man, even though I've been the nail for so long, in that situation, I might be the hammer. You know,
and you will 100%.
I mean, it puts you in a different mindset because I don't mind getting my ass kicked every once in a while or a lot. I mean, because you learn something. You learn something every time you go out.
100%. And here's what I tell guys that train in gyms. I was having this conversation with Doug the other day. And guys that train in gyms with the same group of guys every day or every few days, it's not a realistic look at your capability because everybody knows each other. Everybody knows style, game, weaknesses, strengths, all that stuff.
Usually go for it.
Exactly. Yeah. Where it comes into play is when you go travel and go to another gym. I told you guys this. I went out to a gym over Christmas. Went to go visit my folks. Went and trained at a gym out there. Rolled with 2 purple belts and a brown belt and fucking destroyed all of them, bad, real bad, to the point where the professor pulled me aside and was he had a real thick Mexican accent. He's like, mad. Hey, Louisiana, you sure you blue belt, bro? You sure you ain't fake brown belt? Come control my students.
He was a troll, going to
no
scout out the
man.
local talent.
I was getting ready to Mexican jiu-jitsu, Mexican judo. You don't know if I got a knife. You don't know if I got a gun. You don't know if I'm going to kill you, man.
You need to take it easy, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Put on an ice hat.
I was like, órale, ese, tranquilo. No, but, But yeah, that's just the way it is. But that's the testament. They don't know my strengths. They probably roll in he's just a blue belt, cool. I'm gonna kind of whoa shit. I wasn't gonna go easy on him.
Yeah.
So, but that's the testament. I rolled with an old friend of mine the other day who was a black belt, and make no qualms about it. He fucking crushed me, destroyed me, punished me bad, just being cruel. But he's a friend of mine, so he could get away with it, right? And he's a black belt. He could do it anyway. But it's cool. It's not a dick move.
Right.
But he's like, yeah, man. He's like, dude, you've been training hard. I said, yeah, pretty hard. He's like, we slapped hands. I was like, oh, cool. I'm going to go easy, let him play his game. And you fucking arm dragged me, took my back. I recovered. I was like, holy shit, this is a different Greg.
This is a deal.
I hadn't rolled with him in 7 months, He's like, dude, this is a different Greg. He's like, I realized I could not go easy with you. So that's the testament. The testament is when you roll with people who don't know your game, who don't know you. So you may feel like a nail and get your ass kicked for a year. You get into some shit out in the street, you're going to be a fucking monster.
It's more practical that way because most people you get in a fight with in the street aren't jiu-jitsu guys. Because you're probably not fighting with those guys, you know. So it's mostly untrained guys. So.
Man, unless you encounter that guy that's got the big ass cauliflower ears, then stay away from that son of a bitch. But yeah, it's just a different animal, and the practicality of it on use in the streets, and because we're in the industry, right. You know, we're in the firearms industry, so we see the worst of the worst, and what can happen, and you know, whether it's through simunitions, and we're recreating a scenario where a guy knocks over a gas station and you know shoots 2 or 3 people going out the door, and there was one guy that could have stopped it. And he happened to know this art, or you know something similar as close to as can get, and he just rolls a dude, and looks like a badass. Well, right. He was probably the nail for a while.
I also like it because you can take care of business without getting in trouble. So if a big dude in the bar is wanting to start shit with you and he's swinging, you can take him down until he's screaming in an arm bar, and not have any bruised up knuckles from beating the hell out of him. Right. You know, if it calls for that, that's one thing. But if it's just some drunk dude, you can take care of him until the cops get there or whatever, without having to
100%
physically assault somebody. You know.
And look, I'm all about being well rounded. You know, like you need to know how to strike.
Yeah.
You know, you need to know how to strike. You need to know how to shoot. You need some knife skills. You need some wrestling. You need some jiu-jitsu. But if someone came up and asked me, hey, I want to go learn. I only have time for one thing. What should I go learn?
Jiu-jitsu.
I'd say jiu-jitsu. Very close second would be wrestling. Very close. Yeah. Because I've ended fights with a hip toss and a double leg. Ended them.
See, I got into wrestling when I was younger and did it for like a season. It was like a community thing.
Yeah.
And then I tried out just to see how it was in practice, like freshman year. I didn't like the rules. Like, you can't do this. You can't do this.
It's okay if coach puts you on JV, dude. That's totally cool. I mean, you can hold grudges.
Yeah. But I felt like the practicality, bringing it back to real life, it's like, if I can't do this, I'm not practicing for real life, you know.
Yeah.
And how you start out, like, on the side, it's like, when am I ever going to be
right.
on?
But look, I mean, it all drills technique. There's rules in jiu-jitsu, too, like no small joint manipulation.
Right.
You best bet if I get into a fight in the street and I've got you, I'm ripping every one of your fingers off.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm ripping your ear off. I'm gouging your eyes out. I'm probably biting you on the face and neck.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
if you're not cheating, you ain't
I'm a
winning.
monster.
I'm stabbing you. I'm shooting you. You know, like, you can't do any of that shit on the mat.
Yeah.
So,
do you hear that? That sheriff? I love that shit. Did you see that?
No. What is
it's
that?
audio tape. So him and a couple other guys ended up killing a guy who was, from what it sounded like, a piece of shit. You know,
he deserved it.
That dude or whatever. And you could kind of get that gist from his tape or whatever. But at one point, he's like, "Man, you know, these pursuits, you know, they get pretty insane sometimes, blah, 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 blah," laughing about it. He's like, "Man, I love this shit." Like, taking guys off the street like that.
Yeah. That's actually funny. That's actually funny you bring that up because we were all sitting around watching, you know, clips of these grandmaster Aikido guys and stuff like that. So you guys have seen this stuff, right? I mean, because we've seen it.
The bullshit martial arts.
It's
death touch.
Yes, the death touch.
Systema and yeah.
And they're one and done, and they're taking on like 20 guys, and like, I'm gonna touch your nose, and you're gonna go down,
and then I'll choke to death.
Boop. Oh, he's done. See, I mean,
but can you imagine if like all those people are trying to imitate something that actually does exist? Like, what if there was some sort of like ancient, you know, Chinese, and we just lost how to do it? Like,
what happens when you get one of those guys out in the real world, and like some drunk hits him, and sorry, buddy, like
right. It doesn't work all the time.
What the hell? Why did you go down?
Dude, did you just slap me in the chest?
Did you slap my tit? like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Don't give me that shit. But, you know, it's like stuff like that. I mean, and so many people like clamor to YouTube to watch these videos. Like, videos like that have like 4.5 million views.
I watch
and like
fight videos all the time.
Yeah, but in those like consistent through those real fight videos is the guys that have the technique and you'd like obviously have either wrestling or jiu-jitsu training that are consistently kicking them.
Well, dude, I don't understand how modern day commercial karate and taekwondo gyms even exist anymore. Like, I don't get it. I watched a video.
It's you know what it is. It's kids. It's all
kids,
youth. It's
right.
youth.
It's
driven.
Hollywood driving the. I mean, punching and kicking is more cool looking than wrestling on the ground.
Yeah, but
No.
like,
What video
No
you
way.
watching?
I call bullshit
Yeah.
on that. That's total bullshit because I would much rather see him like Greg sit there and go over
Rip
and
a
do
guy's
this
arm
freaking
off.
wicked, like rip his arm off, put him into chokehold, and
Well, we
like
see
submit
all
him.
the practical reasons for that.
Right,
It's
like
better
that's
technique.
what's cool. I think that's cool, and I mean it's like little moves like that, and I think you're seeing it a lot more in movies. Like, I mean you got the Jason Statham's and stuff like that are like kicking ass to like
John
that.
Wick 2 had a good bit of ground game in it.
It did. It had a lot of ground game in it, and that shit was cool.
center axis relock, bro.
Yeah.
I read, dude.
Here's where the show goes down.
I read an article. Some guy contacted me, wants to come out and train.
Bro, can I roll with you?
Asked if he could take some photos and write an article. He runs a website. I'll leave out right now.
With J. Crew?
Yeah, with J. Crew. the pants section.
Is it handsomebear.com?
It was it's powerbottom.com. I don't know what that means.
Jeez.
Anywho, I went to the website to look at, his articles and like make sure,
Up and up.
Right. Is this guy gonna, write shit on me or what? There was an article in there about center axis relock. You guys know what center axis relock is? It's the John Wick shit. It's the keeping this arm 90-degree angle and shooting them all like this shit. Which was developed by some British dude just to make a corner in the market. And it's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's fucking total bullshit. It doesn't work. It's not realistic. Yeah, it looks kind of sexy when Keanu Reeves is doing an all blacked out suit with slick back hair. Cool.
Which I totally got to get me one of them suits.
Right, totally, dude, totally.
And hair.
But, I mean, it's fucking bullshit, and so to write an article about it, about making it a more accurate, effective means of shooting is bullshit. So, anyway, I digress. Carry on.
So you're saying that's bullshit?
It's bullshit. Hey, for
Never
on
mind
the
the
record.
John Wick reference.
On the record.
Greg, I wanted to ask you, what's like the end game of Vita BJJ? Are you, because a lot of gyms do like MMA fighter camps, and that's kind of what they become. Are you looking at being more of a, streetwise self-defense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are staying away from the MMA thing altogether.
Man, damn it.
KJ. I'll say I love watching UFC. I love MMA. I love what MMA has done for the sport of fighting, of real world. With that being said, I don't believe in all this new current trend of MMA training.
Yeah.
A guy comes in off the street, has no experience, goes, man, I want to train MMA. I'm like, cool. We'll sign up for Jiu Jitsu and come to Jiu Jitsu for the next 2 to 3 years. You can also come and take boxing for the next 2 to 3 years. You can also come and take Muay Thai or kickboxing for the next 2 to 3 years. You can also come in and take wrestling for the next 2 to 3. Like, you have to be proficient
In all.
at each form to then mix it to make it mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
Like, you can't not know shit and decide you want to train MMA.
Right.
Can't
You know,
not
like-
know jiu-jitsu.
Right, or
It's not
or-
an
yeah.
option.
Like, you need to, like, that's what they don't understand. Like, they see all these guys that may be strikers, yes, but guess what? They're also brown belts in jiu-jitsu or black
Right.
belts in the UFC nowadays.
Like Machida, he had to get a lot better at his ground game.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
He was just, karate.
exactly.
man.
But like, you look at some of these guys, they were freaking, national champion wrestlers in college. And now they're brown or black belts in jiu-jitsu. And then they're working with professional boxing coaches. You don't come into a gym.
That scares the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I would hate to be the guy who butts up to that dude in line and goes, "You cut in line." Like, oh shit, what did I do?
But you know what? They wouldn't.
Unless
Most of them.
Most of them would.
I would. I say that shit all the time, actually.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, to answer your question, no, I'm not doing MMA. I'm focusing on traditional Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, gi primarily. We will offer some competition clinics. We will offer some no-gi clinics.
You just say boxing?
I'll be offering regular boxing and kickboxing.
Okay. I might
not
rotate, like one jiu-jitsu, one kickboxing.
And that's perfect, man, because you're going in there, you're getting your conditioning, and you're getting regular repetitions. You're not coming in and doing 30 minutes of jiu-jitsu and 30 minutes of boxing.
Right. An hour.
You don't get shit out of that. You're doing an hour of jiu-jitsu, an hour of boxing a week, or more than that. You know,
that's
we're not doing cardio kickboxing. We're doing kickboxing.
Yeah.
We're taking out. We're teaching how to kick. To take freaking knees out, take legs out.
I do like kicking.
Oh, I love kicking. And a good kick, people don't expect it. It'll end a fight. Dude.
You guys too for them kicks, man.
I bet you do.
That's partially why I wish that Mayweather gets in the octagon. Just to watch him get one leg kick.
One leg kick, dude.
And
just
die.
One. Dude, one. But you're not, it's not all geared towards dudes. I mean, it's you guys are offering
for sure
courses. You guys are offering ladies courses too. What are those going to be like? I mean, are those going to be like just chicks on the mat as opposed to dudes? Or what's your format?
Obviously
I don't know.
Sounds like a website.
There's going to be a members only section you got to sign in for.
How much do I got to pay now? Like, what can I pass off?
No, obviously we'll do the kid stuff.
Right.
In my opinion, jiu-jitsu and wrestling are the most effective forms of self-defense for kids. The building of confidence, the building of discipline, the building of fitness, mobility, flexibility, all that stuff that will change their lives as adults. The people who do sign their kids up for karate and taekwondo, pardon my language, but beyond it being bullshit.
Which I was one of those guys.
You could break boards.
And that's cool, No,
they didn't break boards.
Look, I get it. Here's the thing, and I don't blame the people. They just don't know any better.
It's better than nothing, I guess.
It's better than nothing, 100%. Any exercise is better than nothing. Right. And here's the thing. People don't know better. People don't understand violence or aren't exposed to violence the way I've been exposed to violence or some other people have been exposed to violence. So they just don't know any better. But the thing is, when you do put your kids into karate or taekwondo, the only tools you're giving them is strikes and kicks. That's it. So now a bully picks on them. They happen to get a good lucky kick and a good lucky strike in. They hurt the bully. What happens? Now, unfortunately, today's day and age, you can't get into fist fights anymore as kids, which sucks. Kids should get into fist fights, and it should be okay.
Yep.
But now cops are getting involved. Kids getting expelled. Parents are probably going to sue you. That's unfortunate. Jiu-jitsu, you learn how to control. You learn how to restrain.
And you could choke his ass out.
And you can hold a choke. You could hold a choke and kind of eliminate the tools of the aggressor until a teacher comes. Yeah. And now you say, look, I just held him. The kid's got no black eyes, no bloody noses, no bloody lips.
No evidence.
It's a lot better. Women's classes. I do not believe that women should only roll in women's classes because women are not going to get attacked and raped by women.
Hardly ever. If ever.
However, I know that there's a lot.
What?
Yeah. That's only on Pornhub, dude. No, I hate to break it to you.
You're looking pretty naughty.
Myth debunked.
I'm going to roll your ass.
I need to be searching different stuff.
I think you need another stripe on that white belt.
Yeah.
Okay, this is actually where the show goes down.
Right, exactly.
I'm going to take it a sit down.
Yeah.
But also, speaking of kids, like,
Wait,
it's cool.
How do you transition from that to
kids in jiu-jitsu? Like getting in fights and shit like that.
Yeah.
So it's cool. Like if you're a small guy and you got a bigger guy, if you get that lucky punch in and you knock him out, everybody cheers.
I think we need
he got
now
lucky,
you're a target.
But if you can somehow get the guy on the ground and put him in a chokehold, and make him say something like, tell me I'm your bitch,
Yeah.
or tell me you're my bitch, whatever the hell it is. And he's like a bigger guy, and you're making, that to me is a lot cooler to be able to control him like that than to just get a lucky strike in. Because if I'm fighting a big muscle head, that's the only way I can beat him is if I get a lucky
here's the
hit
deal.
in or run.
That was my big problem with Krav is because there's a lot of things wrong with that. But like thank you. You're hoping to get lucky tonight.
I can only.
You're staying over. But
I call you Spacey.
I really do believe that BJJ actually like levels the playing field for like I'm not a big dude. Like I'm not. Like I'm just not. But like to have the skill set to be able to control a guy that's larger than me,
right,
and just throw him around like a rag doll because Greg, you ain't the biggest dude either, but you know how to use the tools that you got.
You saw Doug.
Mm-hmm.
That dude is a big.
Doug's a big dude. Doug's got 20-something pounds on me.
I'll be a Doug.
But I'll be a Doug.
Hey,
our Doug's a white. Wait,
Our
shit, can I
Doug's a
say
white-
that? Fuck.
Our Doug's a white
Cock
too.
balls.
Nothing's wrong with that. Actually, a lot's
Doug's,
wrong with it.
Doug's actually probably got
Bad.
30, 40 pounds on
Jake
him.
loves cock and balls.
I mean, Doug's a big boy.
And probably 4 or 5
and
inches.
he's strong. He
Yeah.
lifts.
He
he's strong.
really is.
And he came out of my house and we rolled the other day for a while, and we were chatting about you guys and stuff.
Gee,
and
thanks.
he's like, you did tell them that you beat the fuck out of me every single time, right? I was like, no, man, that's not necessary. But that's the thing. Like him and I rolled the other day.
He is seriously
was
a good
like-
6 inches like taller than
Yeah,
you, too.
he's like, dude, there's no way you weigh 180 pounds. And the same thing, I just stayed on top of him and dominated him the whole time to the point where like he couldn't breathe,
Yeah.
he couldn't swing, he couldn't do anything. But that's just knowing pressure and balance and technique, So,
That's it. It's
Yeah.
learning those techniques
learning
and
it,
how to
100%.
manipulate like their weaknesses to your advantage.
but that's why it's so effective for women.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
I'm 180, right now I'm 182 pounds.
You said 183 later. But
183, tomato,
Like
fucking-
the same thing. I keep mine all right here, but
exactly.
you keep a lot of it there.
185.
But I'll roll with dudes. Most of the guys I roll with are bigger than me. Most of the dudes I roll with are 20 to 40 to 50 pounds heavier than me. And they always say, dude, I roll with guys my size all the time. They never feel as heavy as you. That's the beauty for women, is you can take a 140-pound woman, 120-pound woman, 110-pound woman, and make her feel like 180 pounds on top of someone if they know what they're doing.
Right.
And like, going back to the women's and kids classes, I don't believe women should only roll with women. Because again, they're not going to get attacked.
I tend to agree with that.
Doesn't
Right.
fully prepare them for
Exactly. However, I know a whole lot of women that are interested in trying it, but intimidated to get on the mat with a bunch of sweaty dudes.
Right.
Right.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So if I can get women interested and comfortable and confident by rolling with only other women within 5 months, 6 months, 7
Start
months,
introducing.
hey, come to a regular class.
Yeah.
Because jiu-jitsu is not a smash kill. And I won't run that kind of gym anyway. If there's someone in my gym trying to like dominate or smash someone,
Yeah,
they're going to roll with me next.
Yeah.
And if I can't fucking smash them and humiliate them and tell them, dude, we don't tolerate that here, then I'll have my black belt do it. I guarantee you he can do it.
Yeah.
That's scary.
That's
not
my
what
goal.
it's here for.
Anyway.
I would not look forward to rolling with a black belt at this point.
I don't
Yeah.
look forward to it.
But
We're at an hour and 20.
dude,
Yeah.
we are at an hour and 20. We've got a lot more to go. But now we aren't all about that jiu-jitsu live. We are all about that, but we've got a lot more
Yeah.
intricacies within this group. And one I actually, which is kind of weird to me, and you're going to have to explain it to me because I don't give two shits about it, honestly. Like, I would much rather be sitting in a deer stand watching no deer than to talk about F1 racing.
Oh, F1
But-
racing is
That's
shit.
it. Get out.
But
Get out.
dude. Hey, have you ever sat in a tree stand with a bow in your hand and like
A rifle.
No,
Not a bow,
I know.
a
I'm
rifle.
talking about archery. Archery, not something that you can shoot something like 3
You ever
miles
seen
away with.
F2 racing though?
F2's great.
I love some F2.
Much better.
Touring car?
Wait,
Is there an F3?
There is an
Much better.
F2?
Is there?
Yes, it used to be GP2.
I mean that as a joke. You seen
touring
F3?
Is there an
There's
F3?
There's F3
Bullshit.
Is there an F5?
Is there an F? Yes, there is. It's a tornado, and it goes through Oklahoma
Dude,
frequently.
F5, man.
Touring car?
Yeah.
Rally?
Rally.
No, like I know that's
Subarus.
that's these two guys. Like Jake and I might as well bow out.
ALMS.
We'll drink our whiskey, buddy. Like way to go.
ALMS series?
But
Okay,
but
that's
there's a
good
lot of
concept.
different
Yeah.
there's a lot of different
GT3s.
things
There you go.
coming down from F1 that actually are relevant and kind of controversial.
Well, the biggest thing, for the non-F1
Like,
guys
give
here,
us a rundown because that shit is foreign.
All right.
I know you
F1,
go fast and you turn a
Think
lot.
of F1 as UFC.
Both left and right.
Yes, like this instead of this.
If F1 is UFC, then NASCAR, what you know in Oklahoma,
Yeah.
is like WWF.
Okay.
It's like
so the real drivers are in F1.
Oh, absolutely. The world's best drivers.
Yes.
So it's basically, to put this in layman's terms, you're looking at a Craw versus BJJ comparison. Like you've got your that'll
Taekwondo
do,
versus
but
BJJ.
Taekwondo.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
versus BJJ.
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
that's a
yeah.
better comparison. Okay, we can all get on board with that.
Yeah, the latest controversy in F1 is the grid girls. F1 has decided to ban grid
Which is
girls.
a shame. What's a
Hey,
grid
so
girl?
let me ask you: has MotoGP and AMA,
don't-
Supersport,
Banned them as
Yeah.
well? I don't think so. This is a F1 exclusive.
man?
Yes, and it's for supposedly the benefit of women's rights, but they're taking a lot of women's jobs away.
That they're taking a lot of women's jobs away. How's
Yes.
that make women's
Yeah,
rights
I
feel?
mean, come on, God, they got it.
It might get reversed because a lot of the team owners and even Bernie Ecclestone, the former
Can we
lead
get a rundown on
guy-
this? Like grid girls, can we get like people who don't know what we're talking about? Like
girls and
Grid- it's grid girls.
there we go.
Yes,
It's
Yeah.
racing's
Yeah,
version of that.
And we think they're
Correct.
beautiful, but as soon as they go backstage, they get locked back into the cages and they get fed a little bit. You know, it's slave labor.
bread and water.
Yeah,
but they're
Keep
they're
them
paid
thin.
to stand there and hold an umbrella for the driver.
they have no rights.
Rain or shine or sun.
Not sure about the rain. They might get.
They
rain
probably do.
I will
Those
tell
men-
you, because I've done quite
I've
a bit
done
of
research.
racing in my time. Believe it or not.
No,
This
I
guy
believe
used-
it.
This guy used to run on Yas Marina circuit.
I used to race
Motorcycles too, right?
motorcycles and cars.
Yeah.
Nice.
Being in a full no-mech suit
No
with
suit.
fire retardant clothing and underwear on underneath and a helmet, it is extremely
fucking
hot.
You wear
Gloves,
underwear
helmet.
underneath.
Extremely hot.
Like, that's
Oh, yeah.
one thing I would have sacrificed.
Yeah, no, you wear
Just give
full,
me extra like Gold Bond.
Well, depending on the regulations,
It
you
keeps
gotta
the
wear
fire out, but it keeps all of the heat in.
all the heat in. So yeah, it's extremely hot. So having an umbrella
But-
over you is welcomed.
Really?
Yes.
Like it's that much of a difference that
Dude,
like it's like
massively.
30 degrees difference.
Massively. I'll tell you what, like especially when I was doing some stuff out in Yas Marina in Abu Dhabi, Dubai Autodrome out in Dubai, the sun is like sweltering.
Yeah.
And just to have an umbrella, just to be in the shade, cools it down 30 degrees.
Shit.
140 degrees to 110 degrees.
Damn.
And
It's a big difference.
to have a beautiful woman doing it is even better, I'd imagine.
Well, I mean, I'm sure at that point you're not thinking about a beautiful woman.
You're thinking
There's
about
no
not dying,
freaking
probably.
way.
Oh, that's for
you're
the
either
spectators, man.
So that's
yeah,
what,
that's all it
and
is.
that's what they're getting rid of. The grid girls.
the grid girls.
So
Apparently,
who's
the
going to
girls
hold?
who hold-
Is
the
a
plan
little
is-
like Indian child going to do
the
it?
plan is for kids to be doing it.
There you
So
go.
they're not-
See,
so they're
I
not
didn't even know that, but I
objectifying
knew
women.
that's where they were going.
How are they even tall enough to get the dang umbrella up
Yeah.
there? God,
Wow.
that's
It's a-
child labor.
That is.
violation.
That
It is
is
child
what's
labor.
what's the kid in Indiana Jones?
Short round.
Short round.
Short round.
It's short round.
Dr. Jones.
Dr. Jones. Like Dr. Jones, I hold the umbrella for you.
You go fast, okay?
But that's
Anywho.
that's not the only thing they're like that they're implementing this year, right?
The other thing, the big controversy as far as safety regs is the Halo system, which
Halo
is like a roll cage.
Not the video game.
for the open cockpit, which has been an open cockpit for, I don't know, 60 years.
Since, 60, yeah. At
Yeah.
least.
To keep
So-
them
So what they do
At least
before?
60
Hey, whoa,
years, yeah.
what they do before
No, they
that?
don't fly
I mean,
out.
they
There was
didn't
nothing.
have.
There was nothing.
over.
There was just
Cockpit.
nothing.
Nothing.
Now they have a roll bar behind their helmet,
Right,
right?
behind their helmet.
And the way the car is set up, if they invert, they basically slide. Their helmet's not going to touch. Their head's not
Correct.
gonna touch.
The intake above the intake is
Dude, that'd be
Right.
freaky
rollover
as
protection.
hell.
yeah.
So what's the new mandate say? And what's it gonna look
it's
like?
basically a roll cage that looks like sort of a whale tail right in front of the driver's face,
What's a whale tail?
like a thong on a chick whose
Yeah,
pants are
actually,
riding low.
bars come down in front of them.
Bars come down. It makes like a T.
Does that
It comes
not
down right in the middle of their.
Does that
front
not
view.
impede
my
their
God.
vision?
Yeah.
That's
mean,
what the
it would impede
controversy's
mine.
probably About.
I mean, that reminds me of the jerk and like his little glasses
Oh,
invention.
man.
That's exactly what it reminds me of. All these drivers are going to come across
genius.
and they're going to be cross-eyed.
All right.
And
You know what I'm-
$1.27.
Yes.
$1.20.
Look out for the cans!
It's a
He hates
can.
these cans.
But no, it's
Die gas pumper.
that's got to be a
yeah, I don't think anybody
horrible-
likes it. Fans or
but
drivers.
but that's starting in like
this
I mean,
year in a
50
month and a
something,
half,
like a
first
month and a
races
half,
in
yeah.
Australia,
Dude, the old days of F1.
yeah, the
badass.
real danger.
all right, you guys just
Freaking
have your little discussion
V8s.
because I got nothing.
V8s,
V8s, V10s, V12 era.
Yes.
Now it's like 1.8
Big
liter
horsepower. Oh.
See, if I never knew like Jace, and if I never like met him or anything, I would like that's the last thing I would think he'd be into.
Yeah.
Like F1 racing, like, but he's like a super fan. Like every time I like hear him, he's like talking about like,
I don't have any T-shirts or anything, but
man, but he's got the leather jacket.
You know what I really want is a NASCAR T-shirt, like with some old,
A
like
NASCAR T-shirt. That's what you want.
Stewart,
Like
no,
of everything.
Tony
that-
Stewart.
not Tony Stewart, somebody older than that.
Get one with Brian Germoni on it.
Brian.
Who?
I don't even know who that is.
He's got to be a Frenchie.
Kale Marlboro.
I'm talking about like one of the classic guys, not Earnhardt, but like
Richard
Yeah,
Petty.
there you go.
Richard Petty.
Richard Petty.
Richard Petty.
Yeah.
That's who I was thinking of. I know
'Cause you're
classic
such a big
NASCAR, Richard. I'm such a big fan.
Who's
clearly.
Childress? Richard
Yeah.
Childress. Yeah, we actually had
Brad.
him. We do what? Brad?
I'd rock the
No,
hell
no,
out of a
Richard.
Richard Petty
Richard?
shirt.
Yeah, Richard
I don't know
Childress.
NASCAR.
Wait, is that his
that
name?
well.
He got his house broken in like
that?
a few
Lost
months
his name
ago.
already. Richard Petty.
But no, he was the chairman for National Hunting and Fishing Day.
Oh, wow.
And I actually got to like do some interviews with him and stuff like that. It was a really cool dude. But his house got broken into, and so he apparently met the assailants with a gun, and they said, fuck this shit, we're out of here, and they adios. But yeah, that's actually my only dealing with NASCAR.
You didn't meet him with Taekwondo?
No,
you mean?
he should have met him with gunfire is what he should have met him with.
Fuck yeah.
Not just a display.
No. Hot rocks coming out of the
Oh
fucking
yeah,
pointy end of
that's
that
funny.
sucker.
That is actually pretty good. That's a great segue because I actually I took a class from Vada, like a few. Man,
I've taken a handful.
Really?
with Vada.
Yeah.
Really? Like I'm
Pistol
impressed.
1, Pistol 2, shotgun.
See, I took tag.
But with who? Not with me.
no,
you were somewhere else.
No,
'cause
see,
you were
I was-
somewhere
I was
more
overseas.
No, see, I took it with.
I had Blaine and a
took it
couple
with the
other guys.
man.
Blaine's
the
good.
myth,
Blaine
the
is a
myth,
freaking
legend.
stud.
But dude, it was. It's one of those things that I've taken classes before, but I haven't taken one locally. And
What was this?
Dude, it was like a month ago, right?
Oh, okay.
I mean, it was.
He didn't tell you about it because he sucked.
Yeah.
No,
He bought a Glock afterwards.
no, I actually picked it up yesterday. No, I really did. I honestly really did. It changed my outlook on a lot of guns. It might be an ugly gun, but the
is
fucking
ugly,
Glock
but-
19. It's ugly, but after running Greg's for a little while on the second day of the class, and dude, that was eye opening. Like after running I'm not gonna say it, but a gun that like has been known to drop before.
That may have just been opened up to the military firearm.
All right, now
Dude,
we know.
hey, it's sitting on a store shelf.
Don't
right now
drop it
for
on the
sale.
ground.
But
That's something I
But-
gotta do, man. Is take a class, long
And that's-
range and pistol one.
Come on out.
No, just taking a refresher, because I had taken courses before, but with Greg's involvement with VADA and how they run the courses, I decided, man, this is too good of an opportunity. And you know what? One funny thing is that Kate, like his wife, quit yawning. I saw that. You better take another drink. Yeah. But no, both of them were like, you don't need to pay for that class. Just come out and just party. And I was like, no, I'm taking it because I want to take it. Like this is something that I believe in. Yeah. And I don't think a lot of guys.
I just burned $200 actually after that class. I just burned it.
Way to go! What'd you buy?
I didn't know. I literally burned your $200.
You know what? I don't even care because I learned. And that's the thing is I actually learned because I've been to classes before where it's like a real like aggressive environment, and they're like, if you're not doing it our way, you're doing it the shit way. And I've had guys like behind me yelling like, "You fucking suck!
Bust him!
You're like,
bust him!
Go up higher! What are you doing? You're horrible."
What does bust him mean?
I don't know what that means, but I'm sure it means something.
You only get it if you wear cowboy boots.
I do wear cowboy boots
then
every once in a while.
I wear some cowboy boots every now and then.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But no, it was a good way to get a reintroduction and to find out that my primary carry weapon was not as reliable as you would think. And so it doesn't matter if it's like flashy and like the newest of the new.
It's certainly a good test of equipment because you guys are shooting up to 1,000 rounds in a weekend.
Yeah, oh yeah.
2 days. 2 days.
Yeah, that's the
It's the best torture test you could do.
Yeah, exactly. We're shooting probably 400 rounds on day one, 500-600 rounds on day two, easy.
Yeah.
So you learn a lot about your guns, your holsters, your magazines, your ammunition, clothing.
Which I had no problem with any of those, except the ammunition and the firearm. And it was unfortunate, but once I switched firearm, everything else worked.
Even the ammunition, you were shooting the same ammunition.
You running brass?
Huh? Yeah. I'm not telling. Okay.
Same ammunition. And a Glock, you weren't having any issues.
No, it was the
issues.
same ammunition. I did not deviate one bit.
It was the firearm that was causing the issue.
Yeah, which I did receive that firearm back.
You did?
I did.
Oh.
And they said it was the ammunition's fault. But we had a few malfunctions the day before, and it was with their ammunition.
Yeah. That's right. I remember that. And did you tell them I was running a Glock with the same ammunition, and guess what? I had zero malfunctions.
Exactly.
Motherfucker.
Yeah. I'm telling you, like there is.
So did you put it to them? Did you tell them?
Yes, I told them.
Yeah.
Why
Did you
would
say, do you know who the fuck I am?
No, yeah, that would have got me real far. Yep, you're delegated to Unsuppressed.
Where do you live, Louisiana? Go fuck yourself.
But no, I mean, like it's like classes like that and tests like that I think guys don't take advantage of often enough to test their equipment. I mean, whether it's and I fully agree that the next class I take from VADA is going to be a class that I shoot only my carry ammo with. Yeah. Because I want to know if it works.
Well, you don't have to, and I'll say this, from a kind of a fiscal standpoint, you don't need to shoot only your carry ammo.
Well,
but you need to shoot a box of your carry ammo or 2 boxes of your carry ammo.
Well, I'm in a fortunate position where
I know
can
you.
kinda
I know you
select
can
who
get
I
away with
carry.
it. I know you can get away with it. But I'm just saying, for Joe Public,
Right.
shoot at least a box
Yeah.
of your carry ammo, like more than 1 or 2 rounds. Shoot a box you can, make sure it feeds, make sure you don't have any issues, make sure it ejects, extracts, all that jazz.
You know what? That actually might be a good deal for a part of a class. Just throwing it out there that say, hey, in this portion of the class, bring 100 rounds of carry ammo that you are going to carry. I mean, because I'm just thinking of it now because in most of the normal classes, it's just like whatever you got.
It's ball ammo,
Yeah. I mean, it's ball ammo, but if you were able to bring out, like, say, You know,
I mean, put that in the curriculum just to force
classes.
people. Yeah.
Yeah, to force people to shoot the stuff that they're actually going
Hey,
to
we're
carry.
serious about this. Yeah, it's expensive, but hey,
Because
if you're carrying this, you need to make damn sure it fucking works.
yes, and that's not one of the more important things about it is that, you know, I've got carry ammo in there right now that I've shot a lot of it, but I don't think I've shot all of it. Like some of the other rounds that are in there, I don't think I've shot any. So I don't know what it does.
And just to feel the difference, if they're running plus P or whatever, you know, it's a little bit of a different feel just for them to
100%.
Yeah.
And I run 2 different carry ammos.
Ooh.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
So I run 1 carry ammo in my compact guns, and I run a slightly different carry ammo in my full size gun.
Both are 9mm.
All 9mm. Yeah.
Compact
9mm.
gun is a lighter grain.
No, it's a different bullet. It's a different bullet. So people smarter than me, from
Obviously.
from Hornady.
That's not a hard to
We,
find.
we don't have
ammo?
sponsors, so I can fucking say it.
Hey, you say whatever you want.
So
Duty ammo?
so I carry Hornady Critical Duty and Hornady Critical Defense.
I carry defense.
I carry the Critical Defense in my Glock 43 and my Glock 19, and I carry Critical Duty in my Glock 17.
Is this
what's the
is this
differences?
tested? I mean,
So
what's
this
the
has been
difference?
tested from Hornady, and if I had not seen it with my own eyes, I would have never believed it. But the way the bullets are manufactured and the length of the bullets themselves, the way they're necked into the casings and etc. Again, way much smarter people than me. It actually, and we fired them the different rounds out of the other guns. So the Critical Duty out of the small guns, Defense out of the big guns. They do not expand the same.
Really?
So they're literally like scientifically developed to expand the absolute most. So duty is for duty size guns, full size guns. Defense is for concealed carry size guns, small guns. Right. And they expand the maximum out of the shorter barrels or the maximum out of the longer barrels. It's unbelievable. It blew my mind. So that's what I carry.
But I mean, you've been in by far any like situation that we could like fathom, and you've actually like tested this stuff on something other than gelatin.
You can say it on people. Yes,
On people.
I've shot
Like,
people.
You've
Yes.
shot people. But like other than us three, who's like, oh, our knowledge is based on like a YouTube video that Hornady puts out or
I just can't
Winchester
talk
puts
about.
out.
I can't talk about all the people.
Yeah, I know you're secret agents.
Didn't mean to laugh. Sorry.
But anyway, but no, I mean, your stuff's based on
Cut
like,
that out, editor.
But,
I can't.
but it's based off of like personal experience.
Yeah.
and
some of it. Some
and
of
that
it
goes
is.
into a lot of the gear that you choose, and that goes into a lot of the like practices that you do, like BJJ that we talked about earlier. And I think that whole thing. What was that? Was that your stomach?
That's my.
Are you hungry?
Hey, I'm going to get Taco Bell when I leave here.
Oh,
bro.
yeah?
Oh, dude, I'm starving.
Dude, I got chili in the
I might eat
background.
some.
Up 21.
I'm dying.
Up 190.
Dude, come on. I still got
No.
Mustangs sitting outside. The old Suburban will
That
keep
thing
up.
will run.
Not really.
But anyway,
I got lights and
All-
sirens on it.
You can lead.
hurry up, we're going to Taco Bell.
Actually, follow.
No. You want me to lead because they'll think I'm
want him to
chasing you.
lead? Yes. Yeah.
So just stay on my ass. I'll run lights and sirens.
But all your stuff is based on life experiences. And-
Yeah, I mean 100%. You know, and like I'm only as good as the people I've worked around, and I've had some fantastic mentors, and I've never tried to take myself too seriously. You know,
Obviously.
you've got to.
You're here.
Right, exactly. But you've got to like the moment you take yourself too seriously. There's always someone out there that's bigger and badder and fucking done more,
That's ready to
and
punch you
and
in the
fucking
fucking face.
shot more fuckers in the face and banged more queef and fucking done all this shit more than you. I can say all that shit. That's what I
disgusting.
love about this.
Yeah, that's
I fucking love this. I can say whatever the fuck I want.
Banging queef does not sound.
Well, that's what happened.
Come on, that was a heartbreak. That was a Heartbreak Ridge fucking reference, dude. Come on, man. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, some of it I have experienced in real life. Some of it, like, you know, I never carried Hornady Critical Duty overseas. Yeah, sure, I've shot dudes before, but it was with different rounds. I could tell you what those rounds worked like, how they worked, how they didn't work. Every shooting is different. Every human's different. Every person's different. You know, I can tell you what M855 green tip does to people, and if they're not wearing body armor, it ain't that effective. You know, I can tell you what 77 grain, the 77 grain that we started moving to was doing to people, which was a lot better. I can tell you what Hornady, the tap rounds, the rifle rounds do to people with the ballistic tip, and it fucking works good. That's based on experience, but some of the shit
AJ
I just
starts emailing Hornady rep.
yeah, exactly.
Send me.
If you want any of this on air, you need to just blackmail them into a sponsorship.
Hey, buddy.
But I mean, so some of it's based on real life experiences. Some of it's just demonstrations, ballistic gelatin training, all that stuff.
And you've seen a lot of shit come through those classes. I mean, you've got like through the Vada Training Center, you've got basically a ton of like subjects that are bringing different ammo, that are bringing different guns, and you get to see all this
different
stuff
holsters, different belts.
And so you get to see all this stuff in action, and you're sitting there going, not buying that, not buying that.
I'm sure
that interests me.
At some point you could almost predict what's going to fail.
100%.
Yeah.
And I'm not, we said it during class. I'm not kidding. I would say at least pistol classes speaking, at least every 2 pistol classes, someone shows up the next day with a brand new Glock that they went and bought at Academy Sports.
I've seen that before. Or a loaner Glock. I've seen that.
I mean, every 2 classes like clockwork. Someone comes up with a fucking really fancy 1911 or some other gun,
like a Dan Wesson or something like that.
Something,
just
like
beautiful.
Yeah.
And they probably shoot. But are they going to function when you need them the most? And that's the one thing that I learned in that. I learned a million things in that class, but one of the most valuable
two things.
No, a million things. Trust me, I can't.
I didn't teach you a million things.
But no, you pick up stuff. You pick up like it's the little intricacies that you learn in these classes that build the foundation. And we've all been through there. We've all been through these classes. And one thing rings true is that like your equipment is the base of your failures. I mean, and so what you look at and what you carry. So I've been carrying this gun for over a year, and I felt confident in it.
Right.
Until I took it to a class.
Right.
And really used it.
And really ran it. And then it failed me.
A lot.
Yeah.
5 times.
More than that. I think it failed you. I mean, you were having some malfunctions before the critical. Those were like critical malfunctions.
What gun was this?
I'd rather not say. I think we've said it.
It's not.
We've said it. We've said it.
Because I was gonna say I got a.
Hey, what is? I'm gonna have to do math now.
No, it's not.
What's 16 times 2?
16 times 2, 32.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
And then you add a 0 on the end of that.
Okay. So
you made me do some math. Damn you guys.
Whenever the shield was on sale.
That was impressive.
The shield. Wow. The shield was like $200.
I just blacked out. What happened?
No, when the shield was
it's
such a great
I got
price.
one as like my kitchen gun or whatever, just to have an extra gun.
That's a good gun.
The shield is a good gun.
That's a good gun.
9, but it's one of those guns where I've shot it once at the range, probably 50 rounds through it, but
man,
I feel like a lot of people get guns for stuff like that, and just as soon as they buy it, they just put it right into the.
They do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, you got to test your equipment like anything, you know.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like it's like me and my archery equipment. Like I shoot that stuff all the time. I see how long I can get out of a strings.
Yeah.
How long I can get out of my arrows. Are they staying true?
But with like a kitchen gun or something, you spend the money because you're like, just in case, I'm gonna have this here ready.
Well,
then that one moment happens and it malfunctions, and you've never,
Right. But that's why you go and that's why you go and find training.
So we should all take a VADA class.
Exactly.
Together.
Document it.
What's the website for VADA?
VadaTrainingCenter.com.
VadaTrainingCenter.com.
But like in the same sense, I mean, it's a continual training. It's not
Right,
like,
it never
I
stops.
took a class and I'm done
good now.
I'm done for the 5 years.
Well, I would say it's continual practice with
Right.
intermittent
Yeah, that's-
training.
Yeah.
That's fair.
You know,
It's,
like continual practice with intermittent training. Because
Right.
if you apply, and I want to do this because I did one recently and I actually talked to Eddie down at the range to book me another weekend day. I want to get all the Unity tactical guys down.
yeah.
And KJ.
And KJ and Jake. And I'll probably invite a couple of other guys, probably some of the Swick guys down. And I just want to do a fun day. And I'll run a class, I'll run drills just for fun. Yeah. But yeah, it's continual practice. It's a perishable skill, like anything.
That's the one
Yeah.
thing he said to me through the entire thing, and I think it applies to a lot of things. I think it applies to the BJJ,
Jiu-Jitsu, yeah.
and I think it applies to the Krav. I think it applies to the striking. And it is a perishable skill.
I'm like picking.
It is. It's
No,
a perishable skill
oh, yeah.
that if you don't maintain and you don't head to the range and you don't practice those basics,
You're not going to be good at it, plain and simple. Hey, check this out. When I talked to my doc about getting a vasectomy, right?
I've got a story about that.
Okay. And my doc told me, he's like,
shit.
find a doc that does vasectomies. No more ice, bro. It's just water.
Son
So
of a-
you're going to have to go get ice. Go.
I'll listen to the vasectomy story.
Go.
I could maybe
will.
So my
maybe
doc
pick
told
up
me,
something.
you got to find a doc that does vasectomies a lot, right? Well, at the time I was living in the Middle East.
I've done 3.
Yeah, they don't do exactly right. No shit though. They don't do vasectomies
On
in the
goats.
Middle East. Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't do vasectomies in the Middle
yeah.
East. They have fucking 8 to 14 kids.
Right.
My fucking landlord was like 60-something years old. He had a 2-year-old,
Oh, my
which was younger than my kid, and he had a 40-year-old the same age as me.
Jesus.
They don't do vasectomies.
Way.
So
We will overpopulate the earth.
I talked to my doc, who is an American doc working there in the city, and he's like, dude, you got to find a doc that does vasectomies a lot. So I called up a doc in Thailand, which is what he recommends.
You should have called my doc.
Kill it.
All right. So
We killing a bottle on every
All right,
episode of
do you-
this show.
Are you ready for this?
Well, so I called up my doc in Thailand, and I asked him. He goes, well, now I don't do that many. I only do maybe 3 or 4 a day.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm like, what?
Oh, that's
plenty.
nothing.
He's like, before the government used to pay for the men to get it done.
Where was I? I didn't get
He
my
goes-
check.
He goes, no, he used to, he said, so the men could come get it done for free. And I used to do 30 something a day, but now maybe only 3 or 4 a day.
30 a day.
Just no anesthetic, no.
So I went to Thailand, took a little vacation, and got my vasectomy in Thailand.
What?
No, you should have
shit.
truth.
That should have been one of your truths.
That should have been
Because that would have been
See, that's like
total
a-
bullshit.
Fuck, I fucked up next week. Damn.
It's like getting results to an AIDS test or something. Here we go.
They were all positive, man. I got positive results.
Yeah, that was like a
All right.
confession.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was on the
Do you
table
need help?
for 13
Guys, I'm not
minutes.
going to lie.
How many?
13 minutes I was on the table for.
What the?
Yeah, that's about right.
I will tell you this, though. He fucking injected me with lidocaine. But he injected my nuts, right?
Each one.
My nut
Tell
sack.
me more.
Actually, in the
my
center.
God.
Yeah.
Because he only made one slice down the center.
Yep.
And when he made his slice
How
with
many
the
of you out
scalpel-
there have like nut pain right now?
When he made his slice with the scalpel, it had him set right there. And I felt every bit of it.
No.
It fucking hurt, bro.
Oh, I got it.
I was like,
better.
oh!
I got it better right
He's like,
there.
what, did you feel that? I'm
No.
like, no, I'm just fucking yelling and biting my knuckle for nothing.
It's not Bangkok,
No.
it's Slice Cock.
All right. No, mine's way better, man.
Oh, no,
way
come on,
better.
tell me.
You know how you choose a good vasectomy doc? You like the one bar that you could set that you're like, man, that's my dude.
How hot's his nurse?
Oh no, that is definitely not where you go. It's has he done his own?
Ooh,
Dude did
touche.
his own.
Yeah. Touche.
Like seriously, Like sat there, had his wife sit there and hold a mirror and said,
Oh my God.
I might pass out, but I'll be okay. And did it, and did his own successfully.
Did he play basketball? Was he like abnormally long arms?
Dude, he was about the size of Greg Lappin. Like, dude.
Wow. So he couldn't even wipe his own ass?
Like, seriously, the dude is talented.
Oh my God.
Like, and I was like, that's a man I want to do.
Yeah,
mine.
fuck yes.
So no,
Is that testimony video on his website?
it might be.
That's
I
awesome.
don't know. No,
he needs
dude,
to post that shit.
dude's
Should've-
retired now, and like, I mean, he was successful, like
So-
like knocking them out left and right. So I was like, yeah,
Yeah, done,
sign
dude.
me
Knocking
sign
both
me
up.
up.
Hell yeah.
And dude was a buddy, so I was like, yeah, you know, I feel pretty confident about this. Like, yeah,
I mean, if
like,
he did it on himself.
yeah, if
like,
he did it
come
on himself, I got confidence that he could do it on mine. So I go in, and the only thing I'm thinking is, oh Lord, please don't have a hot nurse that like stays in the room. Like that was my only fear. Like,
And of course, come on.
honestly, I mean that's all of our fear. Like that
Nope.
there's a yes, it is.
I
Trust
actually
me,
I
when
hope
you-
for it
you-
because I'm gonna work up a 50-50.
No, there's no freaking way that happens. And so this thankfully not good looking nurse leads me back, and I'm sitting there just thinking like, oh my gosh, is she gonna stay? Like, and I walk in the room.
Oh, yeah, she's gonna stay.
No,
dude.
doesn't stay. And so I'm like, I'm in the clear. Like I got this down
And
pat.
another one, super hot one, walks in.
No. Then I start looking around the room, and I'm like, what are all these fucking sharp instruments for? Like, what's that whole fucking table of sharp instruments for? And I was like, these motherfuckers are gonna like cut me open. I'm feeling pretty good. Like literally, like it's intimidating because there's
Fuck yeah, it's intimidating. They're about to slice your nutsack open.
yes, exactly. And then but the room is ice cold.
Oh, freezing, dude. I was freezing my dick off. Bro.
You're not the only one.
No, I was
By
freezing my
design,
dick
I
off,
guess.
bro.
It is by design. And like, man, the doc comes in, like it's the first time I seen him all day, and like he walks in, he goes, "Man, my nuts are freezing cold." I was like, "Fuck you, motherfucker!" Like, that's my nuts you're talking about.
Yeah.
And so he gets working on them, like the lidocaine and everything, like everything you went through, and like it's a weird feeling.
He
Like
starts pulling on your vas deferens.
that's it.
Oh, man.
He starts pulling, and you like kind of feel
You can like feel him up in your neck almost,
Yes,
bro.
and it like goes up.
Is
and
it like the falling feeling?
yes, dude.
yes,
It's like
that's
your
it.
Guts, your guts are getting
like a
pulled
fucking
out
nightmare.
from underneath you, bro.
and you're sitting there, and you're going,
like yeah, like you're
Yeah,
gonna
like,
throw up a little bit, but not really.
but you don't. It's a weird feeling. Like
Yeah.
it feels like someone's tugging on something down by your knee, but they're like pulling your neck.
Oh man, that's fucked up.
Like, hey, you'll be there.
I'm
young
like,
man.
it's
So
You'll
obviously
be-
Jake and I
I'm
haven't
like,
been
it's
there
like
yet.
they haven't been there.
Hey, they'll figure it out before I'm there.
Yeah. Which this guy, I'm
Here's
shocked.
a pill.
And it
Take it
really,
and it's over.
like,
I've
and
heard
I-
it many
and-
times, but
And when it like I hear like 13 like 14 minutes, like that's quick, but there's a lot that happens in that time.
Oh,
time
yeah,
frame.
man.
Back in the day, they just cut your dick off.
Yeah. Yes, they call them
It's a
a
lot
eunuch.
easier.
They call them a eunuch. And they
they become singers, and everybody loves them.
But so anyway, so I'm sitting in like the stirrups.
Tell me more about your balls.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Stirrups, man.
I just
Stirrups,
laid it
bro.
on the table. Oh, look, I'm already
Dude,
breaking shit.
Dude,
Ah.
you're breaking stuff.
You didn't
So,
get any ice? Oh, god dang.
dude, I didn't get you more ice because it's in the like freezer.
Hey, we're about 2 hours right now. Just FYI.
Almost.
No freaking way. But
Wrap it up.
We'll
here
wrap it
pretty
up.
soon.
KJ's lit right now.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, real good.
I'm gonna pass real good. But no,
I'm gonna
so
drive
I was
home.
sitting there in the stirrups, and like he does the right side, and man, I hit the exact same point as you, Greg. Like he goes to work on the left one. Like I was good. Like I'm good with blood.
Oh, yeah, he had to
Like,
re-inject me, dude.
No, I'm good with blood. Like blood.
Oh, blood's
I'm
no issues,
great.
yeah.
Like I'm like
I love
it
blood.
does not bother me until I like thought about it.
So you're just looking straight at the ceiling?
No,
Imagining what's
no,
going on?
No, you're looking at
You're
this
not
dude.
asleep?
You're looking at this dude. No, you're
Why
not
the
asleep.
fuck aren't you?
No, I watched
asleep?
my shit.
No,
done, dude.
I did too. He
You
was
had a
like, "Do you
mirror?
want me to pass you out?"
No
And I was like,
fucking
I had
"No."
him prop me up so I could watch
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Oh,
fucking
no
way.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I
why
had him
not?
prop me up so I could watch my balls.
I would be
And so
on-
I'm sitting
Dude,
there.
I wanted to make sure I didn't walk out of there with a fucking set of tits and
Well,
a vagina, dude. I was in Thailand, bro.
Where you were, yeah.
Yeah,
Watching.
you were. But maybe I'm just sick. I don't know. But I'm sitting there watching it all, and like he gets done with the right one, and it's fairly quick, 3-4 minutes, and then he goes the left one. Well, the left one's where we got some problems because that shit ain't numb. Oh yeah. He goes to cutting on. I said, whoa. Hey, like,
Yeah.
and he's like, oh, maybe we aren't numb there yet. You think?
No shit,
No
doc.
shit, doc. And like he was like, oh, I'm sorry about that. Like, and then I'm like, okay, hey, let's go. My boys are feeling it.
Yeah.
And so he finishes, and then I could have driven myself home, but that's not like you got to go for the follow up.
I didn't go for a follow-up.
Oh, you might be shooting.
A lot of people are tuning out right
I
now.
did several tests.
A lot.
No, the follow up is the
No
test.
one is
Yeah,
watching.
but I didn't go. I didn't go for a follow-up.
We got people
I
tuning
didn't go
out,
for a
right?
follow-up. What's that?
We got people tuning out. We've been talking about vasectomies for the past 30
Oh,
minutes.
it's hilarious.
KJ's balls for 20 minutes.
We should wrap this up.
No, it is hilarious, and like
We've had
that's
some
not even
good
the worst
talks.
part. That's not even the worst part of it.
Well, good.
because I start seeing people I know when I'm going in a test, and I got a pocket full of KJ.
A pocket full of KJ.
Yeah, just dwell on that.
Think of that for next time, folks.
This is
This has been great.
unsuppressed.
It's been about 2
This has
hours.
been
You
really
just got
fun.
it.
Yeah.
This has been the first go
Tune in.
around for all of us.
Yeah.
So we don't really know what the fuck we're doing, but
First time. But
kinda had
tune in
fun.
next time.
We had a good time, so we don't really give a fuck what you guys thought, actually.
I mean,
Hey, that's
you
the end
watch
of-
this bottle start full and now it's empty and
What's it called again, KJ, this whiskey? So we can...
Ball
Balvenie.
sweat.
Belvini.
Balls.
Balvenie.
Check out some Belvini and all that. And
12-year-old.
12-year-old.
Just what
Young, fresh Belvini. I guess it'd be old, huh?
We are out.
Yeah, you can't say young, fresh.
Old, fresh Belvini.
I don't even use fresh.
All right, y'all. Have a good night.
I
See you next
Apparently,
time.
I got
Peace
cut
out.
off.
Skull.